natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
And the number of workers on payrolls rose by 35,000 between February and March to 29.6 million. However, wages growth failed to keep up with inflation, and average weekly pay packets across Britain fell by 1% in December. Well, joining me now is Mark Till. He's Chief Executive at the employee benefits provider Unum UK. Mark, very good morning to you. I mean, the jobs market is now back to where it was prior to the pandemic. Are you surprised at the resilience of the labour market?
Good morning, Ian. I think if we had been thinking about this at the start of the pandemic, I think I would say yes, I would be surprised at the resilience of the market. But if you look at the way the pandemic has played out economically, we have had a strong recovery in the economy. We have lost some workers from the employment base, and I think that's really increased the war from talent. You've seen employees much more willing and able to change jobs for jobs that fit with their life rather than making their life fit with their work. And I think that's increased the challenges, therefore, for employers, both to attract and retain the talent they need for their businesses.
I mean, the number of vacancies is now 1.29 million, but the rate of growth at which new vacancies are appearing is actually its slowest for nearly a year. Do you worry that that's a bit of the loss of momentum there?
Well, probably not. I think if you were looking at the growth rate in isolation, I think you might draw that conclusion. But I think if you look at the total number of vacancies at 1.3 million, which is a record for the UK, I would suggest that there is still a significant war for talent. And that's why employers need to look at their salary package, but also the culture of their business, the way they support people, and the employee benefits that they bring in to help tackle the challenges that people are facing in living in a modern world.
If there is such a war for talent, though, why is it that in the round wages are not keeping up with inflation? Is it the case that there are a few isolated sectors where people are really able to get good pay increases, but across the piece the average is pretty disappointing?
I think the vast majority of employers are actively trying to increase the compensation of their employees to keep pace with the cost of living rises. I think that also, however, looking much more at the employee benefits that they provide, because that is a major part of people's choice about where to work. And then I think progressive employers are looking at how to improve the quality of the jobs that they have on offer, such that they can pay more for better quality jobs and people who make a bigger contribution to their business. So the importance of training and development is critical.
You've also touched on cultural issues, including the way that employers allow employees to sort of juggle other responsibilities.
Yeah, I mean, we've just done some research on what we call the sandwich generation, and that is the generation that are caring for both a child and a parent. So with us having children later in life and our parents living longer, you've got about 21% of the workforce, which is 6 million people in the UK, who are classed as being in that sandwich generation. And about 40% of those people need some form of time off work. 35% say that it challenges their mental health, 25% say it challenges their physical health, and 20% of them say they don't get the support they need from their employer.
All right, Mark Till, good to talk to you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some other stories now. And EasyJet said this morning that trading during the 6 months to the end of March has been better than it expected, despite challenges from the Omicron variant of COVID-19 and rising fuel prices. The low-cost airline said that during the last 3 months, it had flown at 67% of its 2019 capacity, and that by the summer, it would be flying at close to pre-pandemic levels. It said that despite recent disruption at UK airports, it had flown 94% of its planned schedule last week, with daily flight volumes at around 1,500 per day, 4 times higher than the same point last year. The online fashion retailer ASOS has blamed supply chain issues, higher freight costs and a series of one-off factors, including the acquisition of Topshop and a relocation of its head office after it fell into the red. The company made a pre-tax loss of £15.8 million in the 6 months to the end of February, compared with a profit of £106.4 million in the same period a year ago. ASOS warns that it would take a £14 million hit to profits as a result of its decision to pull out of Russia. And Page Group said this morning that its chief executive, Steve Ingham, is to step down after 16 years in the role and with 35 years with the global recruitment company. In that time, it has grown from a business that employed a few hundred people to a £1.6 billion company that employs more than 7,500 people in 37 countries. Or more recently, Mr. Ingham, who was paralysed in a skiing accident in 2019, has become a well-known advocate of greater work opportunities for people with disabilities. And we wish him all the best. He's a regular on this programme, as regular viewers will know. Now, data shows that more than 4,000 firm supply chains have been disrupted by the war in Ukraine. Energy, raw material and agricultural markets all face uncertainty as the war goes on. So what can be done to mitigate the risks? Well, joining me now is Jennifer Bisegli. She's the founder and chief executive of the supply chain risk management company Interos. Jennifer, welcome to you. The last time we spoke, we were talking about supply chain disruption caused by the pandemic. Now it's the war. What are the differences for you?
Well, first, good morning, Ian. It's great to be here again. And I think before we just jump into the numbers, we do really have to remember the ultimate end of the supply chain are the consumers. And we think about the 4.5 million refugees that are on the move and really how serious the situation is. Before we just jump into the business, this is really a human interest story. And I heard you say 4,000 companies have been interrupted. It's actually close to 300,000 companies between the US and the EU alone that have been impacted, and the ripple effect is going to keep on going.
Good heavens. I mean, what are the biggest areas of disruption as you see them?
Well, I think you mentioned a few. You have agriculture. I listened to the segment that you just had with the Ukraine finance minister. The thing about agriculture is a lot of the harvesting had already been done. So to his point, we're actually going to be able to get those goods to the shelves today to satisfy the consumer need. But it's what's behind it and the stockpiling, the uncertainty that happens in the markets because of the ripple effect and just simply not knowing when this current crisis is going to end. That's going to create an ongoing situation. You have oil and gas, and you had Shell that went very public a few weeks ago and said that they had to continue to source from Russia, even with the sanctions, because there was no other place to go. You have rare earth minerals that are going on. You have automotive and chips. So there's multiple industries that are being impacted. And honestly, Ian, the uncertainty in the markets and how long the situation will continue is just going to keep questions continuing for a while.
You raise a very good point there about Shell, because obviously while commodity price inflation is a key supply chain risk right now, another for a lot of businesses is how they navigate this backdrop of sanctions.
Yeah, it really is a situation. And because you have whole parts of the global economy that are being cut off by these sanctions, where our customers are really seeing a benefit with working with Interos is just being able to get that transparency in the sub-tiers. So if I think about how many companies are directly sourcing from Russia or Ukraine, most companies don't know the tier 2 or tier 3 suppliers, so the suppliers and those that their suppliers are relying on in those countries and where those are being cut off. And so the game that gets us ahead, the solution that everyone needs is really understanding the transparency in the supply chain. And less than a quarter of the companies in the world actually currently have that transparency in a way that they can continue operations.
And that's actually particularly pertinent because a lot of legislatures are now looking very closely at this and obliging companies to be more careful. There's something in Europe called DORA right now, for example.
Yes. Yes, there is. DORA is a big deal, especially in the financial sector. And we actually have a very large partnership that's going to be announced later today about how are we going to help companies comply with the new regulation, DORA. We also had the same thing come out of the US and the SEC a few weeks ago. The mandate from the regulators and from governments, and honestly, in the court of public opinions, companies need to be able to trust their business partners for that continuity of operations so that we can make sure that we are being effective. We're not engaging in modern slavery. And more than anything, as we talked about agriculture, we can just continue to get products to the shelves when the consumers need them.
Jennifer, what about this bigger, broader point of discussion which is going on right now, which is that the war essentially means that we're entering an age of deglobalization? Do you buy it? Is it possible to put the genie of globalization back in the bottle?
So I think that, and Ian, you and I talked about this before, this is the new normal. And I think that's the first thing that we all have to accept. The companies that are going to be successful and profitable as we move forward are those that invest in technology, transparency, and trust in their extended supply chain. And if we also think about it, Ian, it's not just the Ukraine-Russia crisis that we're concerned with. It's the no COVID policy coming out of Shanghai. It's the concern about Taiwan and China and what could happen there. These hits just keep on coming. And so there is no genie to put back in the bottle. I think it's truly a game right now of trust and transparency, ongoing continuous monitoring. And then we think about alternative sources of supply. When is a global supply chain not a good thing? When do I need to think about a local supply chain or a hyper-local supply chain? I think all of those different organization factors are on the table right now.
All right, Jennifer, we have to leave it there. Good to see you again, and thanks very much indeed for joining me at such an unsociable hour of the day.
Thank you.
Bit of breaking news that we can bring you now. We've got some pictures that have just come in of the Russian President Vladimir Putin and the Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko. They are meeting at a cosmodrome in the east of Russia. The pair are due to hold a news briefing later on today. We will keep you abreast of all those developments here on Sky News. Well, still to come on In King Live. We'll have a look at how global markets are doing this Tuesday morning. And it's pretty scary out there, I can tell you. So don't go away.
I'm on my way to being as fully recovered as hopefully I'll be able to, but I've started walking again recently, which has been really nice. I'm actually returning to Zambia to build a school for 104 3 to 6 year olds who currently don't have a school, and hopefully just create a huge positive out of what otherwise could be a really negative accident. And I think that because I've been given the chance through nearly losing my own life, if so many lives can be changed for the positive because of it, it makes everything that followed the accident really worth it to be able to help them ultimately. It's going to be challenging because it's a different country. It's trying to get everything sorted here for when I'm going over there. But it's ultimately education is the best way to help people out of poverty. And Zambia is really suffering with a lack of education at the moment. And this school is a preschool, which means that any education provided here ultimately gives a foundation for any further education. So this is why I thought that a preschool was the most important. It's going to help local people be able to better their lives and hopefully be able to break the cycle of poverty. I actually have met the children for whom the school is, and I've seen how they're really in need of something like this. They're taught on the floor of a church at the moment, so any help that we can give will ultimately change their lives forever.
Well, the oil price has climbed back above $100 a barrel after slipping at one point yesterday to its lowest level since the 16th of March. Well, the rally follows signs that Shanghai is unwinding some of its COVID restrictions. A barrel of Brent crude right now will set you back $101.74 a barrel. That's up almost 3.5% on the session so far. On the equity markets, that news from Shanghai appears to have given a lift to stocks there and in Hong Kong. But elsewhere in the Asia-Pacific region, there were reverses in Tokyo, Mumbai and Sydney. That's the European markets that you can see there. And as you can see, stocks have been trading to the downside since the opening a couple of hours ago or so. All of the main indices in negative territory. The DAX in Germany off by nearly 1%. There were talking points in Europe this morning are chiefly concerning Germany. Deutsche Bank and Commerzbank, those are Germany's two largest lenders, and they're down 10% and, well, look at that, they're down 9% and 8% respectively now. That's after selling by an unnamed investor. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in negative territory, albeit not by as much. It's off a third of 1% right now, and a broad-based sell-off. The leading blue chip faller this morning is the aircraft engine maker Rolls-Royce. Its shares are off some 5% right now, following comments from one of the brokers this morning. Outside the FTSE, there are a few rays of sunshine. The parts distributor Diploma Group is up 8% on a trading update, and the online trading platform Plus 500 is up 5% for similar reasons. Well, UK gilts, government IOUs, they're also under pressure this morning amid growing concerns over inflation. The yield, which obviously rises as the price falls, is at its highest level since February 2009 for two-year gilts and at its highest level since January 2016. Prior to the referendum, of course, for 10-year gilts. But on the foreign exchange market right now, all eyes are on the US dollar ahead of inflation figure later today. Sterling is 0.25% lower against the greenback. It's more or less unchanged right now against the euro. Well, joining me now is the investment manager at Brewin Dolphin, Rob Bergman. Rob, very good to see you this morning. I mean, this is looking a bit unnerving what's going on in the UK gilt market this morning, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the opportunity to tie money up for 10 years at 1.87% does feel a bit missable, doesn't it, with inflation where it is? If you're an institution which have got sort of commitments over that time frame, then gilts have a role to play, and they have a role to play, I guess, in stabilising portfolios for people. But in terms of tying up vast amounts of money for 10 years at 1.87%, not for me, thanks.
Yeah, pass on that one, I think, Rob. What did you make of the EasyJet trading update this morning?
It was interesting, wasn't it? I mean, because despite the chaos that we're seeing in the travel industry at the moment, particularly at airports, clearly there's a demand there for people who want to take advantage of these things. And I think they were talking about summer bookings being above the level in 2019, and it echoes the kind of stuff that we're seeing from the statement from Pretz earlier in the week, where their sales at airports are above where they were in 2019. But then I guess if people are hanging around at airports for 5 hours, they've got plenty of time to eat a sandwich, right?
They have indeed. I mean, that's all a reflection, Rob, of course, of the tightness in the labour market right now, the fact that all these airlines and airports laid off people during the pandemic, and they now can't get the security clearance to rehire people right now. It's taking time.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. And also there's these pressures. I mean, the pressures, the inflationary pressures that your previous speaker just spoke about. And there's a sort of sense of helplessness, I guess, with people that the prices are just inexorably rising, and the demand, and this is supply push, right, rather than demand pull. So it's inevitable that I think the baggage handlers at Gatwick, I think they offered them 5%. Now, for most people over the last 3, 5, 10 years, a 5% pay rise in a year was almost unthinkable. But now it's been rejected as being not enough, given the pressures that are around on household budgets. So I think this is a trend you're going to see over the course of this year. More pressure on wages, probably more industrial action as well, I suspect, which just makes the misery for airport travellers worse.
Well, it will, Rob. I mean, are you surprised we haven't seen more industrial unrest thus far, given, as you say, the tightness of the labour market and the fact that wages are lagging inflation?
Yeah, there's a bit of a lag indicator, this, isn't there? Because people are still nervous about life and about things in general. So I think the pressure hasn't particularly been there. But there's a tipping point you get to, right, where prices go up so much, where you've talked a lot about this, I know, over the weeks, that the pressure on living standards in the UK, exacerbated by fuel price rises and energy heating rises, has got to a point where people are going, well, I don't really want to strike, but I don't actually feel I have any option here.
Absolutely. Rob, got to leave it there. Always good to talk to you. Thanks for joining me today.
Pleasure.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live, I'll be speaking next to the Chief Executive of MJ Hudson. Find out who they are and about their latest results after this short break.
From SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Star Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Star Radio UK and the Morning Show.
Star Radio UK. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
You are good Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Well, God is good and his mercies is forevermore, or are forevermore. And that is where I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you on other planets as well, we salute you all and we welcome you to the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Today is the 12th day of the month of April, the year 2022, with the time now 10:40 exactly. And it's a Starr Radio UK Tuesday edition of the morning show, as I've said. Well, I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show, Archie.
If it is morning at your end, I hope that you had a very good sleep or whatever it is. But at least one thing that I say all the time, you have life and therefore there is hope. Well, let me say good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olayomi, Kojo D, my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Good morning to you all, gentlemen. Felix, all the way in Aberdeen, massive good morning to you. Kofi Ali, good morning. Those in Northern America and Southern America, I salute each and every one of you. In Europe, in Asia, in Australia, and on the African continent as well. Just saying a good morning to you. And you all wonderful people in Nigeria, in Ghana, Liberia, Uganda, Tiso Radio, the team there. We salute each and every one of you. And once again, we say welcome to the program. Well, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. You are good when I'm happy. One of the best ways to listen to us is via or watch us is via our own apps. Go to your app store, whether it's iOS or Android, whatever it is, and just type in STARR Radio Global, and it will pop up and then download it. It is for free. Playing in the background something from Akasa Brempong. It says Ehe. That means he is good. He is good. Okay, so if it's the first time of tuning in to listen to us on a Tuesday edition of the morning show, this is how the program goes for you. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. We'll move on to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. And then exactly at 11 o'clock, we'll have Olayomi Koiki joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. We'll move on from then and then continue with the discussions. At 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. The discussion continues till 1 o'clock when the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that's what is going to be happening. Now remember, it's a Tuesday edition of the morning show. So exactly at 1:30, we're having BB Clement coming your way with a BB Means Business show. So that's it for you. But once again, I say a massive welcome to the program. Don't you worry, I got clock nose, but hey. For the love of the job, for the love of fellowshipping with you, let me say it that way, or interacting with you, I love to be here. I know that I hope that you also love to be around us as well. But this one coming away from Starr Radio UK. 10:43 at the time. Let's crack on. It is not a guarantee that success will be attained because you desire it. Let me take it again. It is not a guarantee that success will be attained because you desire it. So every desire that we have that we attain, we get it. So we might work very hard for it, but at times it will not work. So that's those are some of the facts of life that we have to come to an understanding and acceptance. All right, but that doesn't mean that when you try a bit and then you have to just throw things out and then decide to throw in the towel and then no. Keep pressing on. But once again, welcome to the program. Okay, that's all. Let's crack on. For the weather this day, I bet the pollen levels are high. That might be one of the causing factors why I'm going through what I'm going through, you know. Okay, so today we'll see rather cloudy skies along with a few spells of rain edging in from the southwest. However, some sunny spells are also possible during breaks in the cloud, very mild with gentle winds. This evening and tonight, cloud will break up and clear spells develop. It will be largely dry with light winds, allowing for patchy mist and fog to develop in places, and mild night expected as well. When it comes to the temperature is going to be 19 degrees. The lower is going to be 8 degrees. Pollen level moderate, UV level low, pollution low. Sunset 1952. Sunrise for tomorrow morning 0612 hours. So that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. We take a quick commercial break, and once we come back, I take you straight to the travels. So don't turn that down. Just stay tuned. Starr Radio UK.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Yeah, so keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you updated. I promise I'll be on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes to you every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:46. So what is happening in your travel this morning? Let me tell you about it. Well, on the underground, Metropolitan line is still suffering some special services there. They are running a special service on Metropolitan line until further notice. Please check before you travel. So please check before you travel. A long list there, but please check before you travel. Let me leave it that way. Now on the Northern line, as we know, till mid-May, there are part closures, so check before you leave as well. Now we come to the London tram link, and until tomorrow, 13th of April, no service between Therapia Lane and Wimbledon. Replacement buses are operating. Now keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. Now moving on straight to the major roads in London. This is what is happening there. A13, A24, A3, A316, A4, Blackwall Tunnel have all got closures there as well. Also, Central London Red Route, South Circular A205 closures, but A1 has got serious delays. So please, if you are vying on that lines or those routes, please check before you leave so you don't get yourself stuck in traffic.
It's the hottest thing, and it's on its way to the top. Keep it on.
Okay, now moving on straight to the river bus as well. On the river bus, I can tell you assuredly of late it's been good service throughout after Frank threatened to sue them. Well, everything is going on smoothly there. Good service throughout. Now when it comes to the first, the National Rail, First Transparent Express has got special service. Great Anglia special service there as well. That aside, Gatwick Express, ScotRail, Southern and Thameslink have all got minor delays. And once again, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do that?
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 10:50. That's 10 minutes to the top of the hour, and it's time for Global Trotting. Let's look at some of the stories, the news making the rounds across the globe. Well, as I said earlier on at exactly at 11 o'clock, we'll be looking at some of the stories from Nigeria. But Osibanjo will never be president. Powerful forces will implicate him. Primate Ayodele is saying, who is he? And how come? Are we going to be seeing any of the southern candidates winning the bid for the APC? Are we going to see Osibanjo? Are we going to see what's the name of the other one as well? But well, I'll be bringing you more on that. Funky Akindele says JJC skills speaks amid alleged marriage crisis. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. Evangelical Church winning or decries state of the nation, accuses federal government of inactivity. What inactivity are they talking about? Well, we're bringing you more on that once we have Ms. Olayomi Koiki as well. Plateau attack. Dimka suspends political campaigns. So what is going on? What is going on? And then some other stories making the rounds as well, which will be coming your way from Nigeria. A lot more. Terrorists kill over 80, abduct 70, burn several houses in Plateau State, which has caused some people to call off campaigns there. All right then. Now let's move on straight to other parts of the world, and let's look at some of the stories making the rounds there as well. Now we've been talking about from the past week what kind of the security minister, national security minister, a statement that he made. Well, social media has reacted to Kandapa's comments. Ayiko Otu urged Kandapa to seek legal advice before speaking on matters of law. Now, Lieutenant Colonel retired Larry Bevlo Latte has criticized former Attorney General Ayiko Otu for expressing his discontentment with comments made by National Security Minister Albert Kandapa on judicial rulings. Now, lawyer Ayiko Otu, in an interview with Accra station, said that the National Security Minister would not have made pronouncement asking judges not to tilt the law in our favor all the time if he had sought legal counsel. Now, what are they talking about? What are they expecting him to do? Well, he is saying the thing and telling you as it is that this is what is causing people to ruffle their feathers, let me put it that way. So if he is saying that, well, because he's made that statement, so he should have sought legal counsel before making that statement. What do you think about that? We'll be talking about that during the course of the program, but that's some of the stories making the rounds there. So Kandapa's comments about judiciary completely misplaced and lopsided, and the legal committee is saying there. Is it because it's against them, or it goes against them? That's why they're saying that. Well, a lot more are going to be coming your way from there, because when it comes to Ghana, it looks like that is the top story making the rounds there. And then we'll account for e-levy. Ekufuado says, interesting. Well, the president did travel to the U.S. Sometime last week. Was it last week or last 2 weeks? Okay, latter part of last 2 weeks, ending up coming to the UK last week there. Okay, but what happened was he flew. Left the country on a commercial flight midway. When I say midway on his trip, yes, he decided when he got to the US, he flew on a chartered flight. As whether that was a chartered flight or one of the televangelist or preacher man whose jet it was that maybe he used to get to that place. We're not very sure of it. But if you telling me that, look, let's tighten our belts. Let's do something good. Let's do all that sort. And then you go on still living that lavish life as if we've got billions and billions reserve. Then I have a problem with you. But he's saying that, well, you know what? We're going to be accounting for e-levy e-levy. But the question is, the other monies that the taxes or other monies that has come into the coffers, have you actually accounted for it? Can you say hand on heart that you actually have been judicious to the usage of those monies? We'll be looking into all those stories in a moment. Why should we now trust you that you're going to look at the e-levy only? But there are other sources. E-levy is just forming a small amount or percentage of the funds that comes into the country. So if you account for that, what about the others? Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. 10:55 the time. So moving on to some of the other stories making the rounds this morning. Yes, straight on to some of the stories making the rounds. In Nigeria, over 72 million subscribers in Nigeria have been disconnected from their lines. Why? Because they said they all have to register their SIMs. Well, they think that is what they are going to be using to fight the terrorists. Well, let them rethink, let them come alive, let them wake up. Well, because we have a way of communicating. You can just use Wi-Fi where you don't need a chip or anything of the sort. It's just Wi-Fi and you can just communicate. So what about that? Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Still in Africa, Morocco and Spain re-establish of relationship angers the Polisario Front. Yes, Polisario Front. I mean, they seem to have gone down quietly. Things seem to be taken on nicely, but they are angered by Morocco and Spain re-establishing relationship. And then Egypt economists found dead. Police deny enforced. We'll be looking into all those stories. And Nigeria attacks dozens killed and abducted in gang raids as well. You look at some of the pictures, it looks like Ukrainian war at the moment, but you know, we are all there talking about what is happening in Ukraine and how we think that, but the little ones that is happening in our own backyard, we've not been able to sort them out. Interesting. But moving on to other parts of the world, yes, Russian soldiers raped me and killed my husband. That's a very, very serious allegation by a woman. The first-hand evidence of Russian soldiers raping and killing civilians in a village west of Kyiv. Now, yesterday I did watch some reports coming from there. Now, if it is true, then that is very sad. If it is true, then that is very, very sad. And let me take this opportunity to say good morning to Dr. Albert Kicha. Yesterday I had a privilege of having a chat with him, and he was saying, look, we are some of us who have gone out of the country. I mean, now wherever we are, we seem to be saved. Okay, our lives seem to be saved, but those who are still in there trying to fight, trying to defend the country, it's sad. It's sad looking at everything that is going on. But report of Mariupol chemical attack sparks concerns. Well, how have the Russians used chemical attack on Mariupol? The US and Britain says they are looking into reports that chemical weapons have been used by Russian forces attacking the Ukrainian port of Mariupol. Now, Ukraine Azov Regiment said 3 soldiers were injured by a poisonous substance in an attack on Monday. UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss said officials are working to urgently investigate what she called a callous escalation of the war. The Pentagon called the potential use of weapons deeply concerning. But the question is, if they have, what will the West do? That's the question. Are we just going to go, oh, let's continue to sanction them? Let's continue to sanction them. Well, I remember, most of the times when we celebrate, there is this anniversaries of the Second World War and all those things that comes with it. There are people, they say, oh, it will not happen again. It should never happen again. But we are seeing this happening. Gani, face to face with our eyes. Yet, what have we done about it? Well, let's see. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In the UK front as well, Bland apologizes for defending sex offender MP. The former Tory minister had criticized fellow MP Imran Khan's conviction for sexual assault. Well, why did he make that statement? We'll be looking into that in a moment once we are discussing detailed stories. And when somebody makes such a statement and then comes out to say that I'm sorry about that statement, is it because people he's been caught out, or people have said that hey, you should have said that? That's what. But you know, deep within, you know that you are convicted that this is what I'm saying, and that is what I'm convicted about, and that is right. So when people apologize that way, should we just give them another chance, or we just raid them, or we get rid of them? What do you think? Well, we know that the Conservative Party has gotten rid of Imran Ahmed Khan, but what is going to happen to Blunt? We'll be looking into those stories in a moment. Asylum seeker made 72 calls before hotel stabbings. Those are some of the stories making the round. Badreddin Abdallah Adam contacted the Home Office and other organizations in the period before the attack in Glasgow in 2020. Those are some of the stories making the weekend. FA Cup tube disruption warns TFL. TFL says a special timetable will run on the Metropolitan line until further notice, and therefore if you intend to go for the FA Cup over the weekend, well, be rest assured you might have to leave a bit earlier than usual. Okay, so that is where we bring the first bit of the program to an end. We're going to be enjoying some music. We'll be having updates from Nigeria following pretty soon. So don't you go away, but enjoy this song from Akase Brimpong, another smash of a tune from them. And this is God is Working, and it's up to something. Enjoy this, and I'll be with you.
He's up to something. I may not see it, but still I'm trusting. God is working, He is working, He is working. Tell you, God is working, working. But this is God is working. Tell you everybody, He's up to something. I may not see it.
This is Starr Radio UK. All around the world.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio.
He never sleep or slumber. My God, the promise keeper, sees every tear that falls. Every tear that falls. My God is never early, and He is never late. He's always there, right on time. Right on time, you know. And if He said it, surely He meant it. And if He meant it, surely He will do it. God is working. He's up to something. I may not see it, still I'm trusting. God is working, working. God is working,
This is Starr Radio UK.
Me say, everything is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright now. Everything is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. My God is not a liar that He should lie, or the son of man that He should repay. If He said it, then He meant it, and if He meant it, He would do it. He's up to something. I may not see it. Oh Lord of mercy, still I'm trusting. My God is working. He's working. Me say, everything is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright now. Everything is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. My God is not a liar, that he should lie, or the son of man that he should repay. If he said it, then he meant it, and if he meant it, God is it's up to something. I may not see it. I may not see it. Oh, Lord of mercy. Still I'm trusting. Hey, my God is working. He's working. He's working. Every day, every hour is working. 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 Everything is working. Everything is working. Working out for my good. Working out for my good. Everything is working. Everything is working. Working out for my good. Working out for my good. I will keep holding on. Holding on. And I will keep moving on. Moving on. Said I will keep holding on. Holding on. And I will keep moving on. Moving on.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Best radio show.
This is Starr Radio UK.
You are listening to Starr Radio.
Well, it is Starr Radio UK. God is working. From Makasi Brimpong for you this morning, wherever you are. It might be that you can't see anything, you don't feel nothing, you think that, well, nothing seems to be happening, but somewhere, somehow, there are things going on in the background, and that is what the tune is all about, and I hope that I'll be able to inspire you this morning, wherever you might be. But it's now time for updates from Nigeria. Whilst we wait for Mr. Olayomi Koiki, a few stories that have been lined up, I will be bringing your way. Okay, so wherever you are listening to our Tosino, let me say massive good morning to you all the way in Moscow. I hope you are doing very, very well as well. And to every one of you who tuned in to listen to us, especially those of you in the African or on the African continent, I want to say a massive, massive thank you to you all. But share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Now let's move on to some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria. Well, terrorists kill over 80, abduct 70, burn several houses in Plateau. The governor has condemned attacks, victims giving mass burial. And that is quite a scary story from the headlines only. I will bring you more details about that. Osibanjo Amechi Tinubu to reveal plans to end insecurity in Nigeria. These are people who are thrown their hats into the ring for the presidential bid for the APC. But, well, they are calling them to now. You know what? You want to lead the country? Put on the table how your plans to end insecurity in the country. So we're bringing you more on that front as well. Nigeria in very bad shape. Only PDP can rebuild it. Saraki is saying the former Senate President Bukola Saraki had decried the appalling state of the country's economy while pledging that only the People's Democratic Party can redress the issues. But remember, while they were in power, before they came out, they went out of power, insecurity has started. And that is when Buhari promised that when he comes in, he was going to end it and see where we are so far. Now, Buhari's refusal to release international passport of Sheikh Zakzaki, a call for us to resume protests in Abuja. So supporters of Sheikh Zakzaki are embarking on a demonstration against his passport not being released onto him. Okay. And then ASU has met with federal government, but they are saying no resumption until their demands are met. So, what is the Minister of Education saying? We'll bring you more on that front as well. Terrorists, okay, I'm going to bring that details in just a moment. Just bear with me. And then, Evangelical Church winning all the cries, state of the nation accuses federal government of inactivity. So we have religious organizations who are now attacking government, saying that, look, you're not doing much there. What do you think is happening? And Olusebanjo will never be president. Powerful forces will implicate him, Primate Ayodele has said. We'll be bringing more on that front. But now, let's start with the terrorism activity that's happened in Plateau State. Okay. Terrorists in large numbers on Sunday invaded Kanam local government area of Plateau State, killing over 80 people and abducting over 70. Now, during the attacks, more than 100 houses were also razed in communities. The affected communities and villages in the council area are Kukawa, Jambawu, Dongo, Keram, Yawa, Dada, Wanka, Shuwaka, Guadaji, and Dadin Kowa. Now, a source close to the local government informed the Nigerian Tribune that the terrorists stormed the communities on Sunday afternoon and carried out the attacks in the most bizarre manner, killing people at random. The source, who is a local government official, added that as of Monday morning, my apologies. As of Monday morning, the council has so far discovered that 38 people were killed in Kukawa, 24 in Jambawu, 8 in Keram, and 10 in Wana. He added that the actual number of those killed was yet to be tallied, as there were still dead bodies in the bush. He also pointed out that over 100 houses were burnt, just as he revealed that those who sustained gunshot wounds were already receiving treatment at Dengue General Hospital and George University Teaching Hospital. But the story continues that an eyewitness, Sariki Bitrus, also disclosed that about 70 people, mostly women, were abducted by the terrorists, adding that most of the affected villages had been deserted as those who escaped the killings had gone to take refuge in nearby council areas. Now, Bitrus said the incident the incident occurred at about 3:45 p.m. when people were clearing their farms in preparation for the rainy season. Now, we've been talking about the fact that, the northern part of the country, about 4 million people are going to go hungry this year because of what is happening at the moment. Okay, my apologies. As I was saying, Mr. Olayomi Koiki has been stuck somewhere and therefore cannot get to the studio. So, things do happen. But he is well and good. He is well and good. So, these are some of the stories that is posted. So, I'm bringing them your way. So, continue to stay with me. Now, meanwhile, the Plateau Elders Forum, in a statement signed by its media officer, Mr. Jonathan Ishaku, has lamented the killings of innocent people in the council area. And it says the statement reads, just within a week of our press release condemning terrorist attacks on Miangu villages in Basa local government area and Rantis in Bakin Ladi local government area, bandits on Sunday killed several people, wounded many others, and abducted over 70 in Kanam LGA. This is again very sad, and we strongly condemn it. This escalation of violence on our communities further justifies the earlier call the Plateau Elders Forum made on the Plateau State government in conjunction with the security forces to deal drastically with terrorists in the state. Now, my question is, do Nigeria have soldiers? Someone will say yes, because the president was a former soldier as well. So, Why are they not placing them in those areas where they know that those areas are prone to terrorist activities? Why are they not doing so? So why are the soldiers maybe living in in Abuja, or maybe in the southern part where there seem to be less activities? And the other time, I think was it yesterday when we were having the update from Nigeria, where Mr. Olayomi was talking about the fact that some soldiers were even beating people from the southern security, the southwest security group, the Ameticon. They were beating people from the Ameticon there as well. So you look at all that and say, okay, you have all that strength to do that. Why don't you go to where terrorism activities are taking place, where they are insecure? I mean, people, the security apparatus is not working very well. Why don't you go to those places to go and operate? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. Let's take a quick break and I will be with you. Don't you go away. It is Starr, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:20. We're also bringing you the updates from Nigeria, but we've got Mr. Frank Davis in the house. Let me acknowledge him and let's continue with the program. Frank, good morning to you.
Good morning to our listeners, our viewers. Olayomi, wherever you are, say good morning. We know you find it difficult to get to the studio, but that's fine. We'll push on Kofi, Ale, fellas, and all. Or want to miss.
Yes. Cassandra, you know, want to miss, he's got lots of money, you know. He wanted to buy Chelsea.
What?
Just digressing a bit.
Yeah,
he had what? More than he's worth more than 10 billion.
See, he said he's worth more than 10 billion.
Yep.
In fact, Chelsea listed him as $7 million.
7 million.
When the profile, they did a bit of profile those who were interested in buying.
I see.
Chelsea. But at the end of the day, some of these will have undisclosed worth.
Yeah.
They do not, because we do not have a system of tracking some of them, and that is where some of other governments should be concentrating on.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Wontemi's house, you look at some of these rich guys, you go to their houses, the fleet of expensive cars that they do have over there. If you value Wontemi's cars, there will be more than $5 million. The fleet of cars he has. I mean, he's a very good friend of Chief. Fleet of cars that will be more than $5 million. It's like a playground for them. You take a person like Despot. You take a person like. So the question: do they even pay tax on?
That is the question that I was asking. How much tax do they pay?
And they have property. Look to me for a lot of London properties.
Yeah.
So. And they are into Galamsey. I mean, whether you like it or not, he's one of the kingpins of Galamsey. The way he operates it, the way he operates it. But these are political animals, and therefore it's very difficult to even track them down.
Well, they are the makers and the shakers.
He's opening another TV station called Movement TV. You know, he has Wontemi TV, Wontemi Radio. He's now launching another called Movement TV.
Wow.
Movement TV and Movement Radio. They are political. It's a MPP. This is a movement. It's more than apartheid.
Yes.
And no one can stop it. So Movement TV.
That's a good morning to Anthony Adedeji. Yes, I hope we are doing very, very well. Okay, let's move on. As we said, Mr. Olayomi cannot join us because he's stuck somewhere. He couldn't get to the studio. So, but we'll continue with the posting that he's sent so far. But Frank, a very sad story happening in Nigeria once again.
Yeah.
Terrorists kill over 80.
Yeah.
Abduct 70. Those who have been injured. Lots of it. Okay, in Plateau. Now the question that I've been following the story, why I've been asking myself is, has Nigeria got the military? Have they got military at
Actually,
all?
they do. We know they do have military. That's why they do have generals and all those kind of stuff. They do have military. Actually, it's the same issue. Lack of security is what is actually disturbing Nigeria today. Because at the end of the day, the investors are not even going to come in because they don't know what will happen to them next.
Of course.
And I think if anything at all, government should be pursuing how do we get that place rid of some of these groups of criminals. And the other issue that is troubling me though, actually, if you take the number of people who get killed in Nigeria a week, from the news that we're picking up, and I dare say that some of these news could be underreporting.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because should they even go to villages that people are not accessible to, when they claim that place, how are you going to know before it comes too late? But we've seen that ECOWAS upon ECOWAS head of state meetings, talk shops that they've done. For instance, of late they've been concentrating on the coup in the neighboring countries. So you look at them and you ask yourself, here we are, insecurity, and where ECOWAS is supposed to be HQ'd, has got to a point where should any military man or should any group of people not rise and say Buhari has failed us because of insecurity and overthrow the government, you will see the fat belly ECOWAS tea drinking leaders sinking and telling us that coup should not be an option. Well, yes, we say coup should not be an option, but democratically we have elected someone who, I mean, like Black Rasta would say, sleeping president. Basically, that's what I would have assumed, that even if nothing is being done, Buhari should constantly be engaging with the public. You look at what is happening Ukraine.
Yeah.
One thing that Zelensky has done very effectively, I know we'll be coming to that because there are some lies and staged things that are also happening, all in preparation to let us get into a third world war. Anyway, Archie, one thing that he has done effectively, war and cultivating basically the morale for a lot of people globally, is the way he constantly engaged the public and addressed the people. I cannot imagine that people will be killed on a daily basis and we do not hear from the commander-in-chief for our country. US, even if they shoot people, then get a commander-in-chief, sometimes giving reassurance to people, words of, encouragement that this is what we're going to do. Yes, they might not succeed in solving the problem, but at least we know we do have someone listening, someone who is on top of his job, someone who knows and who cares for the people. When was the last time we see Buhari addressing the nation about insecurity issues?
No, because it's failed on that front. I don't think you want to touch it.
That is, Archie, it is not if you about most African leaders do not see the need. Only a few. Only a few. Yesterday there was shooting in Ghana. 2 people killed. Again, something similar to what happened at Ijua.
Yeah.
At Akachi yesterday.
Okay.
People killed. Have we heard from the president?
No statement. Nothing like that coming from them.
Yeah.
But it's very, very sad because they have gone military. Why can't they deploy them to those areas so that at least it gives the citizens that sense of protection, that there's somebody there who is prepared to protect us? But we don't see that. It's very sad, very, very sad. Well, interestingly, on that, there have been questions being asked to the aspirants of the APC, the presidential aspirants there. That is Osibanjo, Amechi, and Tinubu. Now, people are asking that, okay, you want to be president? They've been told to reveal their plans to end insecurity. Which I think that if voters are going to listen to that and based on that vote, then we might be going forward. But popular media personality Ebuka Obi Uchendu has expressed concern over the lingering insecurity as the 2023 elections draws near. Now, with aspirants declaring intentions to run for the office of the president in 2023, Ebuka has taken on social media demanding their solution to insecurity. According to him, likes of Yemi Osibanjo, Rotimi Amechi, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and all others 2023 presidential aspirant must tell Nigerians their precise and practicable plan to tackle insecurity.
Yeah, and then the question, especially for members and leading members of APC, for me, I hope that they come up with something that we've not heard. Because a person like Osibanjo, if you do have a credible plan to end security, you are the second in command. We should have seen it in action by now. Unless you again telling us that you were waiting for you to become the president before you can, so it means you do not care for the people. So for me, when it comes to Osibanjo, whether he's presenting a plan or he's not presenting a plan, for me it's a no, because he has demonstrated that he's not fit for purpose, in my view, when it comes to security.
Not to interject, but you know, when it comes to our politics, okay, you have the president, and the president has got so much power. So it looks like they seem to be shutting maybe the vices down.
Unless it's a boot cleaner problem, unless he goes to shine Buhari shoes. If his job as a vice president is to shine Buhari shoes, then I agree with you. But you have been voted in as a vice president, and I do not think that, for whatever reason, I do not think Buhari, for lack of solution anything, he will be there wanting people to be killed.
No.
So I do believe that no matter what, any credible plan on the table, Buhari will consider it.
Okay.
So if you are a vice president and you are telling me that you've not proposed a credible plan to Buhari, and you waiting for you to be elected before you can rescue the nation, for me that is a sign of person who do not care, and a sign of person who we should not entrust our country into. It tells me that, look, you'll be someone who will not even, you are not a good team player, you will not even be interested in sharing ideas with people. So for me, it is a no. If you do have a plan now, show us what you've done with your plan. Show us the avenues, the number of occasions. He will be delivering public speech. What stopped him from organizing a public lecture if he has a plan that Buhari say no to? And what stops him from granting interviews and proposing solutions? What stops him? Nothing stops him from doing that, right? So for me, when it comes to Osibajo, I see him as a no. He's a twin brother
of Buhari.
That's the way I look at it. When it comes to Tinubu, it's the same thing. You are a cabinet, you sit around the cabinet. You are not a minister, but being the leader of the party, you sit around, you have the president's ear. So if you have any credible plan at all, we should have seen it in action. So for me, those key members of APC, it doesn't matter whatever they want. They can say, look, this plan was from Jesus. I'll tell you, you're a greedy person to have hidden it for not showing us, and you have allowed thousands of people to die before coming. So for me, I rule them out.
Unless, of course, what people are saying are alluding to that, well, the government is behind the whole thing, getting people to be killing others. It's true. Which I know nobody in their rights.
It's going to be very difficult. I sometimes see the ethnic cleansing aspect that people want to talk from, that from Fulani probably. Yes. I do understand that. Again, even the Fulanis in Nigeria are worried about what is happening because their names seems to be dragged in the mud, because they're talking of Fulani, they are saying the Nigerian Fulanis. And again, if you go look at what happened between the Kurdish and Syria. Once you are, whether you are
Turkish Kurdish or Syrian Kurdish, or
you are still
Iraq Kurdish.
That's it. Look at what, even if you look at the border between Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda, and then Uganda area, the same thing is that the Tutsis across the border. If you come to Volta region, along the border between Aflawo and DC, airways are always everywhere. It doesn't matter whether you take a geographical line or not. Even airways in Ghana still go to Mochi and other things for pilgrimage. Are you getting me? So at the end of the day, yes, we might make sound noise, but it will take, even King Ahab of biblical days will not act in a way today to want to have people, unless you want to embark on proper ethnic cleansing, which would have seen it. And we know the military, it's not all of them that are Fulani, right?
It's not all of them. No.
Some of them are Hausas, and we have the Hausas also being killed
as well, especially what is happening. Predominantly is in the north.
So I do not give too much credit to that. One thing that we can say for sure, that elements within the government will be in control the supply of arms.
To these people.
Elements within the government or members close to power will be basically enjoying some of the other warring parties. Where reports comes out, we have people who contract to go and get human parts, and we have people going to buy human parts, like the way we buy chicken from shop. There was a story about, when we hear those things, if they are true, and I have no way of doubting them, when someone has escaped being killed and saw people being butchered and was there seeing cars coming to load human parts of that out of the camp, then you ask yourself, who are those behind such? Because I've always believed that, look, especially the vehicles that these people use, we're talking about sanctions in this country. We're talking about how assets are being traced. We're talking about how they're able to trace who pays this, how come this. Twitter has us. It's not.
It's
It's not manufactured in Nigeria. So if we see people brazenly using it up and down, and
we don't know the source, how they got it.
Military with their air power, when Buhari we know spent pounds, millions of this to acquire certain aircrafts.
Yeah.
This what they call, they have fighter jets that the terrorists do not have. Yes, in a high densely populated area, it becomes very difficult to use some of those weapons. But to tell me that the Nigerian military can this time, or intelligence services, has not been able to establish some credible evidence of people behind it, the supply chain and all those things, then I am very, very worried.
It is sad. It is sad. Abraham, let me say good morning to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi and Abraham Mawula. Abraham Mawula said, thank you both. You nailed it. None of these candidates have solutions to Nigeria's problem. Well, Abraham, so what do we do? What do we do? How do we move on from there? But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Interestingly, Primate Ayodele is saying that Osinbajo will never be president because there are powerful forces who will implicate him. So let's say, like I was saying earlier on, maybe he's got a brilliant idea, but are there some forces behind the scenes who are around the president himself, dictating what the president has to do, has to say, and therefore has shielded him, and therefore Osinbajo cannot make any decision.
I think we do know there are powers behind some of these people. They are power that control. I take a classic example. Let's go to Ghana. If you take Ghana, for instance, I've always said, and you see the evidence, when someone writes their own speech, every president has speech writers.
Yeah.
But they do not sit back for them to just go and get a script and read.
Yeah.
They get involved in discussions before speech writers.
Yeah.
But most often, what we see these days, because what they say, they should mean it. When you look at what some of our leaders read, it's as though someone has prepared a script. The way you get into the church and they call you, come and read the Bible
passage,
or you get into a church and they call Sunday school, Frances, read the script. That's exactly
what seems to be happening.
What is so with that, there are people behind who want to tell the public what they think the public should hear. And some of our leaders do not even understand what they are reading. They just read what they are reading. It tells you that the people who voted for, to a large extent, are not even spending time thinking about us. Why do I say this? Akufo-Addo give a lot of speeches, but until last 2 years, when he was interviewed by Joe FM, he said he didn't know. When he was shown a clip, he didn't know that people do not like free exercise. That it was all he thought was that everyone, because constantly he's been put in an eggshell, and in that shell there are needles that are plugged in like gabbies, and they got their distance in, and they go to inject him with what they think,
information that they think.
So anytime he comes out, he's filled with that kind of energy that yes, everything is okay. And Buhari, I wouldn't be surprised that that's what even the TV channels he watch are controlled, might be controlled.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? Yeah. But as effective leader, what do? Sometimes you go down to the people, you listen to the people, because people can lie, and people around you. And for you who have been in government before, been a president, been outside and complain about it, came out suggestions what should be done and what should not be done. For you, I will have no excuse for someone who has tasted power before, come out and go back. If I'm judging you,
you should do better.
You should do far better, because you've been there before. So for instance, let's give Mahama for instance. Should Mahama ever come back to power again and he mess up more, I'll judge him harshly than I will ever judge Akufo-Addo. Because he's been there before. Are you getting me? So you were there before. You surrounded yourself with clouds that basically drop give you mist that wet your body, and therefore any heat around you didn't understand. When people are experiencing heat outside, you did not, because you were fun in a cool environment, provided shielded in that environment. You went outside, you saw
how people are actually
suffering. So if you come back and you still live in that false Robin Hood cave, then we shouldn't have any sympathy for it. I've told people, if anybody goes out of pipe from coming from the one, I should be on him.
He underperforms, he is a goner. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. We're bringing the update to a close in just a moment, but don't you worry, the lines will be opened at 12 o'clock for you to also add your voice to the discussions. Now, interestingly, Nigeria in very bad shape. Only PDP can rebuild it. You know what? Saraki is saying that now. The former Senate President Bukola Saraki has decried the appalling state of the country's economy, while pledging that only the People's Democratic Party can redress the issues ahead of the 2023 election. Saraki made this call on Monday while briefing journalists after a closed-door meeting alongside his co-aspirants, Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State and Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, with Governor Doyi Diri and all that. He also said that Nigeria's interest takes precedence over personal goals. But they were the ones in power before Buhari came. They basically said it on their watch.
Actually, you see, politicians, and I'm going to appeal to, it is not about Nigeria alone, Africans, especially. We should stop and we should come out of the table tennis, what they call a syndrome. We are all infected with that. What it is, the players playing here this year, NDC plays us, MPP hits us. So today we are hit to this quarters. MPP because they claim they can do better. CPP quarters because they can do better. Tomorrow we are hit back to NDC because they can. This is a political class problem. Some of these things are political class problem. PDP were in power when Boko Haram started. They were there. They could not arrest the situation. Right? Buhari promised is to come and end it. He's not been able to. He's gone west. I will expect Sarakis and other things. They shouldn't just come and sing as if they just gotten into what you could a chapel and want to join the hymn. They should be able to tell us now what notes are we going to sing, when are we going to use G clef, when are we going to say F major to be able to make
he's bringing you some music.
So look, whether you are APC or DPD in Nigeria, do not just accept that we can do better. For me, that is not more enough. If you can do better, we need a blueprint. How are you going to be able to solve the problem? What are you going to do differently from what Buhari is doing? What are you going to do differently from what you did whilst you were in power? If you cannot provide that, for me, you are also a non-starter. That's the way I look at it. And we should go beyond just, I'm an APC, I'm a DPD, I'm NDC, I am MPP, all this nonsense. At the end of the day, actually, parties have changed power since Nigeria got independence. Parties have changed power since Cote d'Ivoire got independence. Parties have changed power, moved from NDC, MPP, from co-mining to co-mining. But our situation
has worsened.
That's what it has been. It's worsened. Are you getting me? Now, if that is the case, then we should now stop looking at, I am NDC. Yes, because of ideology. But if you look at APC and DPD, I don't know the ideological inclination that all of them belong to. I know APC, Buhari is close to the what they call it, the conservatives. They're close to what they call it, MPP. They belong to what they call the Democratic Union, Alliance of Democratic Union. So basically, they are more of a capitalist oriented. And DPD, I don't know where they belong. So ideologically,
they are also capitalists.
they might be a little bit different. But at the end of the day, How are you going to craft policies to solve our problem? Don't just come and sing us song. We're not bird watching here. You know, we can't question birds when they are singing.
No.
I mean, they're singing. Have you ever gone to bird watching and you watch and
say, hey, sing,
canaries, sing? No, but these are human beings we can interrogate. So let's begin to interrogate them.
Okay, Abraham, Mama, when I say that the solution is for each region to go their separate ways, peacefully, through referendum. He reckons that's why some people have been saying that, look, Nigeria seems to be too big, because it looks like the center cannot hold, they cannot actually control what is happening, because if Nigeria was, let's say, only plateau state, they should have been by this time dealt with the situation, but maybe it's too big for them, and they think that the only way out is just break it out.
I do not accept that argument at all, that Nigeria is too big. Look, India
is
China,
massive, Russia.
So I do not accept that argument that Nigeria is too big. Look, if it is big for the managers that have taken this, and that's fine. The separatist movement, I have no problem with them. What they call the Oduduwa, the Igbo that want to go. I understand where they're coming from, but the problem I've always called for is that, look, I really do not want a situation where we attain our independence, so we'll call it. Russia is still fighting for independence. That's what Putin says. So independence fight. Britain also fought for independence. They are still crafting independent from EU. So the word independent itself, I mean, is subjective. Depending on who is it. Archie, provided the leaders will be able to give us blueprints of what they will do different. What they will do different, because I've said, if someone can sit down and tell me that when we granted the privilege of being ourselves, a self-governing part of Nigeria today, as Oduduwa nation, this is what we do. Day one. We're going to pay teachers this, and this is how we're going to get the resources. We're going to construct these rules. This is how we're going to get resources. This has been, youth unemployment has been our problem. We're going to change our educational policy. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. With a document, verifiable documents, facts that we can, or at least some degree of research work or evidence showing us what has worked before. This is the blueprint. We all vet it. We all vet it. Don't tell me you're taking me to heaven when you've not shown me the ladder. You take me to heaven.
No jet. When you sleep and you open your eyes, you'll be in heaven.
You go and bring me a broom that by tomorrow we're going to space, the space station. When I've never seen anyone, I mean, using what they call it, a broom to get to international space station. So if you're telling me that yes, Nigeria is too big for the manager at this time, I wholly do not agree. I think we need to, I mean, our local governance system is weak, that I understand. We might have to strengthen that. We might have to look at how we do not just devolve power with words. We do not just devolve power with a bit of bandering, but we devolve power with actually giving control and, I mean, policy direction to people to be able to take on, but they still are within there. Because actually, small states are not easy to they struggle. They are not easy to run. Look at what is happening to Somaliland. Look at what is happening over there. Comoros Island. Comoros Island has survived largely because of tourism. Okay. We know there are nations that survive. Scotland. Yes, they are even trying to go on their own. They tell you, oh, do are more than Scottish. Okay. Barbados. They are less than 500,000 people. So if those are the examples you are looking at, you're gonna look at the management style of those nations. You're gonna look at the management. Madagascar, how many are they? Not too long. Not a lot of them. Would Oduduwa nation have been able to say, okay, prices are going up, we're capping prices, we're stepping in, we are subsidizing goods and commodities for our people, just like the way Madagascar has done, just like the way I mean, Barbados have done, just like the way Rwanda. Are they going to be? And the leaders over there now, they've been part of the system.
Same old
story. They've been part of the system. So if they cannot, look, these are people who have been trained to drive peace goers. Don't tell me that they are moving to a new nation where we only have what they call it, jets. And when they go there, they're going to fly. I mean, they've
not been trained for that.
They've not been trained for that.
Wow.
So yes, we can go on separate way, but for me, I say this always, and I tell Olayomi this. I understand what they want to do. The Votarians in Nigeria, in Ghana, some of them want to go separate ways. My friends in Cameroon want to go. Cameroon is partly totally different. I mean, the Ambazonia issue is totally different. I understand where they're coming from, but I still believe that, look, until our leaders who are leading us to break away are able to show us blueprints, or they are able to find a system of inviting the citizens to take hold of their destiny and be able to contribute to how a new Yoruba land will look like, we should not just follow them. We should have singing praises. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but that's my opinion.
You know, back in the day when the Kwame Nkrumah circle bid was redone by President Mahama. They call it Dubai. So they said, when the people go take people from village, said, I'm taking you to Abrochile, taking you to Dubai. They take them and bring them to Accra. They go in there. I said, this is Dubai. They say, so maybe that. They say, we're taking you to heaven. No, by the time I say Jack, he said, open your eyes. Say, this place look like Nigeria.
They'll take you to Beaufort Church.
Well, listeners, it is Starr in the UK. A bit of a joke there. Well, it's 9 minutes to the top of the hour, and that's where we bring the updates from Nigeria to a close. But don't you worry, tomorrow we'll bring you some more from them. So, like Nikoiki, we'll be bringing you the Niger voices in the evening as well, and therefore lots of other issues that is going on there. We'll be touching on. Let's take a quick break. We come back and we'll look at some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of Africa as well. We'll be going to Ghana. Well, the National Security Minister has got made a statement from last week, and I mean, we've been talking about it, that this is a truth assessment of what is going on the ground, and said that is what is going to cause people to decide to take the laws into their own hands. But people from his party front, I mean, people as they call it, some learned men have decided to say that hey, he should have consulted legal people and wouldn't have spoken the way he spoke. But what do you think about that? Is he telling the truth? Or do you think that is something that, well, he shouldn't have said that, just shut up and let's go on? But Larry Buffalo has said that he was also a former security expert there. He has also said that, well, he said what he has to say because it's the right thing to say. But what do you think about all that? We'll be coming to that in a moment. Let's
just add that Buffalo is a legal person. He's a lawyer by profession
as well.
He's a security expert and a qualified lawyer. So we'll be coming to that in a moment, and a lot more coming from Ukraine and other parts of the world. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Okay, welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time down to 5 minutes to 12. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis, I'm Archie, and we are also bringing you the rest of the morning show. So, we'll be going to other parts of the world. As we said, chemical attacks being rumored that have taken place in Ukraine. How true is that? Is it a ploy to maybe get the West actually involved, because the West have said that, well, if you get to that point, if you cross that line, then we'll have to do something about it. It doesn't deploy just to say that, well, it doesn't, something of the sort that happened. Now let's see what you really want to do. And people have said, look, when they celebrate the Second and the First World War, they said that, well, we will not let this happen any longer. But have you seen anything different from that? We'll be looking into those stories in a moment. But Abraham Mawula says no democracy can work in Nigeria under the 1999 constitution. 1999 constitution is military decree and a scam to favor the military and corrupt politicians. But I ask myself the question every day that when those constitutions were being written, who were the players in there? Who contributed? Was it only the military, or did they get a cross section of the public to also get themselves involved in? When we have things like that, when we are I remember back in the day when Ghana's constitution, the Fourth Republic Constitution, was being drafted, and then the opposition, that's the MPP, decided we want to boycott it. We don't want to be part. Yes, they decided to boycott it. They don't want to be part of it. And some people sat and they put their heads together and said, okay, this is what we are coming out with. Then tomorrow we come back to say, see, that wasn't good. But when you were invited, you decided to abstain. So is that the same thing that is happening in Nigeria, or did happen in Nigeria, that we are seeing this? But we'll come to that later on to find out. Maybe they invited some people and they decided not to join in. The learned people, that's what they term themselves. They decided not to join in.
But actually, in that case, we've had democratic government, haven't we?
Yeah.
Why didn't the democratic government spearhead a review of that constitution?
Yeah.
That's another question.
Yeah, that's another question. Yeah.
That's another question that we should be asking. We have Yaradua over there.
Yeah.
We have Jonathan over there.
Yeah.
Why did they not spearhead? It's all because of the insecurity and other things. But I do believe that once people are talking about it, making noise about it, calling for it, you have to listen to the people. If there's a review that needs to be done, it gotta be done. If a new constitution needs to come into effect, let it come into effect. At least there's nothing wrong starting a consultative assembly now, even ahead of 2023, to be able to say that going forward, even before the 2023, we are voting on a new constitution. You go to vote, you're voting on a new referendum. And then, or probably a week to the election, we have a referendum on the adoption of the new constitution. We just vote on it that if we vote in a referendum at the same time electing the new leader, it shouldn't be difficult.
I mean, I don't know how the constitution of Nigeria works, but because some of them have got a time frame.
Ghana, for instance, 10 years.
10 years before it can be done. And then when you want to even start that, maybe they tell you that once those who form the committee comes out with that, you take maybe 3 months or something for it to mature and all those things that they put in place.
Every constitution has instruments that can be used to vary whatever.
Okay.
So the Constitution has given power to the House of Representatives and the Senate to be able to pass laws. So if anything that Constitution is not fit for purpose, they have the power, because the Constitution has created them to be able to pass it. So if 10 years of review, 1999 to 2009 to 2019, we've not seen or we've not heard of any review. Unless they are telling us that that constitution can never be reviewed. You can't.
No, I think they said they've reviewed a few things in there. I think in the past, then that's
they
what
cannot tell us that basically they cannot review it. They can still review it, and I think the Senate, actually, in all this that is happening, we should be calling out our House of Representatives and the Senate as well. They should not just be enjoying their monies, their highly paid, basically jobs, and the people continue. So we should be calling them out as well. And it applies to a lot of African countries that sometimes we need to put our attention to our representatives, the role they've played. If you look at Ghana, for instance, the e-levy, the passage of e-levy, but you give credit to the opposition that, but for them, the issue of even the debate that we've had, how the public education has gone on, assuming we had the rubber stamp parliament that we had, or assuming we had the former Speaker of Parliament, Mike Quay, still in charge, this would have been passed in November last year. The education, the kind of community activism that people got involved, how people got involved, these town halls and other things that we saw government trying to persuade, the way they broaden education on it, it would have happened. Yes, it's been passed, but the credit goes to the 137 members of parliament from the opposition side who stood their grounds to reject and did everything possible to try stopping what do you call it, the bill. If nothing at all, we benefited from the debate that had gone on.
You know? which is true. Well, as I said, we have to hold our reps that we voted for responsible for everything that's happening, because they are there to represent us. Are they singing our voices, or are they doing their own thing, protecting their own selves and making sure that they get big bellies? Is that what we're doing? Well, if you want to join the conversation, as we are saying, don't sit on the fence. Get involved. It is 0208-133-2257 or 58 0208-133-2257 or 58. You happen to be in US, Canada, or let me call it or the Caribbean area. It's 001-718-303-2737 001-718-303-2737. You can text or WhatsApp at 0753-966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. And as I said earlier on, if you want to follow us, you want to really enjoy everything that we do, then go to your app store, whether it's iOS or Android. Just download it for free. Just go to your app store, type in Starr, STARR Global, Starr Radio Global, and then we'll pop up and download it. It is for free. We have various facets to that app, and we've got various stations on there as well. The TV station is there as well. So just get involved, just get in touch with us and download it and enjoy the shows. All right then, I'm Archie with Mr. Frank Davis here, and we're looking at the rest of the stories making the rounds. As I said before we went on the break, the Kandapa did not say judges should rule on party lines. Bevlo Latte fumes at Ayukwe Otu. And let's see what Ayukwe Otu himself has also said there. And Ayukwe Otu is of the view that if Kandapa had actually consulted the legal brains of their party, he wouldn't have made that statement. But what do you call it? Bevlo Latte says, now, Ayukwe Otu urged Kandapa to seek legal advice before speaking on matters of law. Now, Lieutenant Colonel retired Larry Bevlo Latte has criticized former Attorney General Ayukwe Otu for expressing his discontentment with comments made by National Security Minister Albert Kandapa on judicial rulings. Now, lawyer Ayukwe Otu, in an interview with a Accra-based station, said the National Security Minister would not have made the pronouncement asking judges not to tilt the law in our favor all the time if he had sought legal counsel. He opined that judges determine cases based on their merits and not based on party lines, even though such perception exists. He says, I'm sorry to say that I don't think he sought legal advice before commenting, because the judges have taken an oath to do justice to all manner of persons without fear or favor, ill will, and affection, he said. Now, commenting on the matter, Mr. Beverly said the former Attorney General would not have made such zealous comments if he had also sought advice on relationship between administration of justice and national security. Let me leave it there. Now, you remember when we went after the elections, when there was the what do you call it, the election petition. Yeah. Now, you remember when the NDC was calling for the chairman of the EC to be brought to be questioned. We saw the judges doing everything to stop her from doing that. Okay. Now we came to the ruling and everything. Okay. Now we had the president, the former president Mahama, who visited the US about about 4 weeks ago. And when he went there, he was talking about the fact that, look, we know that the judges are ruling, and when they rule, the ruling seem to be biased in a way. And now we have the national security minister himself, who the other time was talking about things that cause insecurity, because we've been talking about coup d'etats, and we said when people are not getting what they want, then they agitate. Okay, so he's looking at all those and putting everything together and saying that, look, guys, now if you as judges, because he was addressing judges, and he said, if you are judges, don't do judicious things when it comes to you ruling on cases, then the people will think that we don't need to come to you any longer, but we take the laws into their own hands. So let's say that we are going for election, the NDC can decide that we think that this has been rigged, and we will not come there. We're just going to go around and start destroying things and just making the land unrulable. Now, if somebody makes such a statement, do you think it's wrong?
Archie, in the first place, what is Aikoto's problem? Is it because it's affecting
their party?
Because Kandapa is part of their party. And Kandapa make the line over there that if ruling seems to favor us, by saying us, he refers to them, MPP, and in government. Okay. Archie, the rulings upon rulings, if you look at even the MP in court today, the ruling that is coming from Accra, Cape Coast High Court, is something that a lot of people have questioned, right? If you look at the ruling about birth certificate, people questioned it. Okay. I'll give you another one that has just come. The judicial oath that they've just taken. Archie, there has been a circular that is coming from the Chief Justice. Part of the judicial oath states that they must be fair to all manner of persons. Am I right?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, now listen to what the Chief Justice is saying, and we're linking it to exactly what the decisions they take, how they look at it, and they think that it is not offending people. Now, the Chief Justice has sent out a circular where he's urging that judges should call up cases brought before them by senior lawyers first. So it means that actually, if you and I head to court, and I seek the service of someone who has been a lawyer, and he's classified as a senior lawyer, and Kofi Ali comes to court, and he goes for a talented, brilliant Felix, young attorney who just graduated. We filed a case today. If the judge who is available can sit on only one case, let's assume Kofi Ali filed his case 2 days before I filed my case, but the very fact that I am a senior lawyer, are qualified before Felix, Kofi Anim Yeboah is telling us that my case, or I should be called first. How does that give you who has sorted or who has opted for a senior lawyer, Kofi Ali, who has opted for a junior lawyer, how does the decision of Aniyebua to call to allow me over or present my case first, how does it bring fairness to administration of justice?
From the word go, that is
so basically that is what they want to be doing.
Yeah,
that's the Chief Justice, okay, advising, sending a circular. That, do you know what that also means? It means that the next time Kofi Ali wants to go to court, he's going to see the services of a senior.
So that,
and you know what it means? It means that fellows who are just qualified as a lawyer will now be deprived of cases that were given. And you know the reason he gave? Because it will afford the opportunity to junior lawyers to learn how many lawyers will be present in court. Why must fellows be in court for a case he's not a party to when he can be doing other stuff? You see the reason? So they just say senior lawyers, because the senior lawyers they claim to have, they have formed a clique among themselves, right? They form a clique, just like the way journalists say senior journalists, and other things, and you don't know what there is. It whether the seniority by age,
they have more questions.
Seniority by age, seniority because they've taken more bribes, seniority because, and these are the judges again. We are told that collect bribes. Is it because the senior lawyers are able to pay more bribe and know the corners?
And the young ones,
because you give us opportunity you give us opportunity to ask a lot of questions. Besides, what has Canada what they call Kandapa said that some of us have not said it before. That is the sentiment that people are sending out. And you know what? I equal to a man I respect so much. In fact, we're lobbying for him to become the speaker.
I remember.
In fact, we're lobbying for him, and if people are listening and put him forward, they will not be in the trouble they are today, because back when there's no way back would have won, because he has soft spot even within the NDC. Are you getting me? A man I respect, what the ambassador to Canada, a man I respect so much, but on this I think he's gotten it wrong. Because you see, they always think politics. Archie, what sense does it make for my grandfather to have taken a case to court having to do with someone stealing his cocoa farm? My grandfather has to travel all the way to court for 20 years before he died. Then I
have to pick up there.
I have to pick up. What sense does he have in that? No, Archie, does that make sense to me?
At all, it doesn't.
Justice delayed.
That is denied.
So every resource my grandfather spent going up and down the energy, he died without
getting justice.
Now that he's died, if I go pursuing that case and tell me, I agree with your grandfather that we'll do this. Is he going to rise up from his grave and speak up? Archie, what sense does it make for someone who has gone to steal plantain to be given 25 years imprisonment, but a chief executive officer who has embezzled $5 million come and given go and pay and go home? If you are a youth, what will you think?
I think I need to steal big money.
And what Ken Japan is saying, he's linking you directly, he is reminding them of what happened in the past. We are told that when the 3 justices were adopted and killed, I'm not glorifying that. We are told some of the reasons they gave, or the genius gave, for that they have consistently pronounced judgments that are biased and unfriendly to Ghanaians. That they have used the judicial system to protect their cronies and to protect their interests. That's exactly what we're seeing today. Actually, we've gone round the circle 360, and what is happening? That's exactly where we are today. So I do not understand where Ikotu is coming from. I 100% support, and he's a security minister. The briefing he gets,
they don't have a clue. What do you see?
Let me lead you on something. You know, the Fix the Country guy.
Yeah.
Was yesterday he was trying to do a broadcast. He was going to do a broadcast, and as part of that broadcast, some of our news David Tamaklo gave us a lead on some of this. Now, somewhere in 2001, when this Fix the Country issue started, they called him into a secret meeting.
Who?
The security minister, Ken Dapa, and Ken Oforiatta called him into a secret meeting. Now, part of the agenda was to get him to toe the government line and stop with promises and other stuff. The guy stood his ground and told them some of the things they are doing and how it's angering the youth. There's information that Ken Dapa has that Aikoto is not privy to. Are you getting me? In my view, well, they continue this way, we're going to have a real problem.
Yeah.
If they think everything's good, they can hide in their party colors.
Not necessarily even having an uprising or so, but what is happening in Nigeria can happen because when people are that desperate, and somebody is graduated from the university, the loans that the parents might, it's not like here where you have grants and stuff like that. The loans that the parents might have taken to get the person to educate themselves to get to that point, and they don't have anything. You cannot even get food to eat. That desperate situation calls for desperate measures, and that's what they do.
I think I've said this before, and I'll repeat it for the sake of a few people who might not have. You know, the youth unemployment program that we do have in Ghana, it was a person like Ken Dapa who brought that idea forth.
Oh, is it?
Now, I'm not saying Ken Dapa,
but somebody like him who has
Francis Poku.
Yeah.
Francis Poku, who was by then the security minister appointed by President Kufuor. He went to Kufuor and told Kufuor, now look, youth unemployment situation, because you promised people before 2000 election that within the first 100 days,
you give them all jobs.
You give them all jobs. And indeed, when you came into power, you caused people to go and queue and register. You remember those times where unemployment were go and register, they are registering unemployment. So you gave hope to people that they were going to be miraculous jobs. Here we are. It seems we've lied to the people.
Yeah.
Security wise, unemployment is a security threat.
Yeah.
And youth unemployment, when able youth desperate looking for job, cannot fend for themselves, cannot feed themselves, it presents a serious security threat to the unity of the country. And if we do not take time, the country will be destabilized. We're likely to see a revolution, or we're likely to see an army take over again. Do not forget, that was when Jerry has just been out of. That resulted in the youth unemployment program, which was designed by Francis Poku, and I'm not saying it. He told me personally, I was with him one-on-one, and he may and Ken Osajifo we sat, and he told us exactly how the program came to be. The way they designed the program, they were supposed to even attach, like the way we do apprentice here, that look, forestry, we attach you to forestry, we attach you to this, we attach you to this, so that before you finish with that period, you would have gotten experience, not to set up a kwango where they use it for money making and everything. That's not what we're trying. So if people can see unemployment as a security threat, why can't we see biased judgment as security threat
as well? Now we seem to be living in some, I don't know whether some cocoon, and therefore our leaders don't see anything outside. I don't know who is briefing them.
They have security around them. They are quite okay. They do not see. So if today politicians tell you, oh, the country has improved, check their bank balance before and after the elections. When they were in opposition, how much did they have in account? Now how much did they have in account?
Oh yeah.
Check the asset base and the profile base. When an NDC might cry, the country is hard. An NDC minister is crying, the country is hard. Check their bank balance before and after. how much did they have when they were in power, and how much is it now? They were getting fuel.
Yeah. And all that now they're not getting it. So they say the country is hard.
So
country broke.
For those of us who do not find on them, those of us who depend on planting, country broke, country no broke,
we day inside.
We day inside.
Well, listen, let's start ready. Okay, 90 minutes past the top of the hour. That's 90 minutes past 12, and this is the Tuesday edition of the morning show with me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis. But let's go straight to one other story from Ghana, and then we'll move to the some of the other stories. Now, President Ukmorning has reiterated the commitment of government to ensure transparency and judicious use of revenue mobilized through the implementation of the Electronic Transaction Levy Act to engender confidence amongst taxpayers. Boom. Let me just leave it there. Now, what percentage does the e-levy form when it comes to the income stream of the country?
Okay. Archie, I don't know an answer to that. But what we do know is that we are told that it's projected to bring in 6.9 billion.
Yeah.
The finance minister has come to say that it is not going to yield that much. The projection, according to John Kuma, the deputy minister for finance, was that they projected that the knockoff or those who stop using Momo will be 20%.
Okay.
Now, from evidence that is coming, we know that number is going to be exceeded. 20% is going to be exceeded.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people
I'm going to just move out from there.
Now, we also know that a lot of people are devising means around how to avoid paying. They still use the Momo, but avoid
paying that.
Avoid paying that. If you take that amount, which is 6.9 billion, let's call it now 6 billion, because of what we do know is that the president's office alone is taking out more than half of that. So the president's office is taking more than half of that because his budget was increased to 3.5 billion. That office of the president alone.
Wow.
We also do know that if we zero our accountability lenses on the presidency, it's one of the most untransparent presidencies that we have, or institutions that we have. We were asked or were told that the president had been flying with private jets.
Yeah.
Parliament called the security minister and even the finance minister to give us an account, the people of Ghana, account of how much it costs citizens to fuel those private jets. They told that it's a matter of security.
Yes, because if they say it, you'll be upset and they'll be upright. They will say it.
A matter of security. Is that transparency?
No.
Is that transparency?
Freedom of information. What is all that?
Okay. So at the end of the day, from the president's own backyard, there's nothing to show that he's been transparent enough. The law requires the president to submit to parliament within 90 days a list of staffing. To date, the president has not done it.
Wow.
Against the constitution.
Now, so the accountant general department that sees to the payment of those people, don't they have data of them?
We can no, but the presidential act requires the president that every year within the first 90 days,
you need to submit. Yeah,
we need to submit to 31st of March would have been the 90 days that would have passed. To date, to this time, the president has still not. So when it comes to accountability, the conduct of the president itself demonstrates that he talks, he does not mean the words that he says. Look, the very time I concluded that Nana Akufo-Addo, I cannot trust what he says again, and that's why I brought that issue about who writes people's speeches.
Yeah,
you remember when he told us that we should be citizens and not spectators.
Yeah,
that was a call, in my view, to say that get involved in action helping pull the country. What he says at the interview last 2 weeks.
That's the different scenario.
Archie,
he doesn't want to say that there.
Where Dumelo, when there was flood, and Dumelo paid for contractors to desilt a gutter, the government went and stopped him. Right? Was he not being a citizen? A
citizen, yeah.
But they stopped him because of politics.
Yeah.
Trazaco wanted to construct a road in front of their estates, a bad route in that luxurious area. Actually, you drive there, you wouldn't. I was going to visit a Jason over there when the road we drove onto that place. It's as bad as anything. The contractors or the owners of the estate wanted to call to do the road and put their name on there even for a certain number of years. The minister of road stopped them. Were they not be citizens?
Wow.
So, you see, in my view, this is a government that cannot be accountable to people, and they've demonstrated it. As we speak now, state institutions are making losses upon losses. Cocoa board of all cocoa board, we are told, has made losses.
They'll say it's COVID. They'll attribute it to COVID, of course.
Bust.
Well, as for bust, it's a non-starter.
You know what they've come to say? They say, oh, it's not true that they made a loss of 400 million, but it was 2019 that they made a loss, and 2020 they didn't make a loss. Boss was in profit before he took over. Ghana International Bank was in profit.
Yeah.
GMPC was in profit. Tema Oil Refinery. Yeah. Where actually, it's all Africa that here oil refineries making losses. Oh.
When the prices at the pumps just going. we are wonderful people, wonderful. You see, my question is, if what the e-levy forms call it even 20% of the income of the country, you're telling us, okay, we are going to make sure that we are judicious too. What about the 80%?
Forget about those lies. I mean, those are lies. Look, e-levy, when there was a call that can we pay e-levy into a separate account so that we can monitor it if anything? He said no. E-levy, as we speak, the what they call it, the receivers will have to pay the money into what they call a consolidated account. The taxpayers' money now goes to the consolidated account. When the 52 million, that's a Ghana Commercial Bank, that is the greatest. I mean, they act as intermediary to receive money on behalf of taxes on behalf of the government. When 52 billion was moved from was diverted, paid into an unknown account. Up to date, everybody has been quiet.
Wow.
Auditor General found that look, they cannot trace the money that there was a letter from Ken Oforiatta for that money to be paid into what Auditor General described as an unknown account. Taxpayers' money 52 billion.
Has it been brought back though?
By who?
Wow.
You don't know where it is, how are you bringing it back?
Oh my. We have snakes swallowing money in Nigeria. Ghana, it vanishes.
Are you getting me? So, accountability. They've not demonstrated that. And are they not going to demonstrate it? Actually, those are English. He was speaking English.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Was the president speaking English? What do you think about that? Well, they said, look, I mean, the past we've not been good, or we've been a bit cavalier when it comes to all that. But now, e-levy, we're going to show you that we are judicious when it comes to the spending of the national purse. Do you trust them? What do you think?
Let me give you a test. Let me give you a test Akufo-Addo should do. Akufo-Addo today should call for people to nominate themselves to form a committee. And that committee should be independent people.
Yeah.
Okay. And they should monitor the 30% reduction in salary, the use of V8s, the fuel coupons that he sends there, and then the traveling of executives.
Yeah.
Let him subject himself to that and let him be transparent. Do you know when he was coming to UK, do you know what we are told he did?
What did he do? Commercial?
He took an airline, a commercial airline, to the US
Yeah.
When he got to the US, there was a private jet waiting for him.
So that's why I was saying maybe TD Jake's jet.
Who knows? He hired it. He chartered it. Right? And taxpayers' money.
Yeah,
to go and speak at the church. Taxpayers' money to go and speak at the church. When we didn't vote him in power to become a pastor. We didn't vote Akufo-Addo in power to become a pastor. But he flew with taxpayers' money to go and speak at a church. Okay, good. So he got there and used private jet all the way to London. Paid for. When he was going back, commercial again.
He's cutting the cost.
He's cutting the cost.
Wow. African leaders, interesting. Well, someone who said that, well, in the West here too, they are advanced countries too. They have some communities that goes down there, but well, we know that the checks and balances are here, and therefore when people can call you to order when that those things are spotted. But what do you think is happening in Africa? Do you think there's a way forward for us, or a way out for us, or do you think that we are caught in these doldrums and forever it shall be? What do you think? Let us hear from you. It is Starr Radio UK. Now, let's move on to other international stories as well. Moving on straight to the Ukrainian war. Now, pressure builds on Donbass as new Russian assault looms. Now, we know that Russia is trying to get the Donbass area, because once they get that one, it cements that area for them. So the Crimea area and all that bit, they'll be able to control that, the Black Sea around that area. But well, there have been some rumor that seem to be going around pertaining to the usage of chemical weapon or warfare there, as to whether that is true or not, because Ukrainian forces in Mariupol say a Russian drone dropped a chemical substance on the city overnight. How true that is another question, but it says that however, no evidence has been presented to confirm the use of chemical weapons. Now, UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss said officials are working to urgently investigate what she called a callous escalation of the war. The Pentagon called the potential use of the weapons deeply concerning. The Western nations have warned that the use of chemical weapons will mark a dangerous escalation of the conflict and have pledged to take firm action if Russia carries out such attacks. We have Zelensky going out talking, which is doing very, very well when it comes to publicity. My goodness, is done very well when it comes to that front. But he's always telling the West that, look, if you sit not doing anything and you say we're going to be bringing you, we're going to support you, and they keep on bombing us, killing us, then there is no point. So I mean, give us the arms now. Give us, if you don't want to put boots on the ground. Now we have the UK promising over the weekend that they were going to send in some armor cars and stuff like that and other weaponry to them. So we know that is going to be done. But for them to allege chemical weapon being used, that means, like you were saying, calling all the...
I say, Archie, for me, I know what I'm going to say. I might be the usual suspect. But you see, sometimes we want to give a dog a bad name and hang it. Like, Archie, the war in Donbass area and Mariupol itself, we are told that Russia has almost leveled our city.
Yeah.
What will using a chemical weapon in that city achieve?
Maybe there's some few soldiers there who are also trying to push back. So maybe they want to get rid of them.
The understanding we do have is that city is almost gone to the Russians. That's the understanding they've made. That is the brief they've given the world over these months.
Yeah.
So can someone tell me why would they now want to use a chemical weapon over there? I don't know. Last week there was a meeting of NATO Secretary Generals.
Yeah.
And as part of their commitment towards Ukraine, they additionally set 3 key lines that crossing them will mean a step too far, and they will act.
Yeah.
One of those lines was that if a weapon or anything happens or any attack happens within NATO member countries.
Yes.
That is number one.
Yeah.
The second one that they said was the use of chemical or biological weapons will be a second one. Right?
Yeah.
We do know from the beginning of the war, Russia alleged that there were biological and chemical weapons factories that were going on
in Ukraine.
In Ukraine.
Yeah.
And the US officials confirmed that. During one of the Senate interrogation, they admitted that there are factories over there that were producing or that are working
experimenting
on biological and this and they're trying to do everything possible so that Russia
does not get their hands on
do not get their hands on them. Could it be that one of those factories has just been bombed by Russia?
Oh, okay.
No, we just have to,
you are thinking aloud. Yeah,
we have to ask questions because listen, we know sexy dodges have been used, dossiers have been used. We know chemical weapons and biological weapons have been used. They told us Libya was great. Gaddafi was going to use chemical weapons if they do not strike against the militants from Benghazi. They told us Saddam Hussein was 1 minute away from destroying the whole world. What didn't they tell us? Assad has chemical weapons and that. What didn't tell us? Most of them turn out to be false. They turn out to be false. So if the same intelligent community are telling us this, then we need to be questioning it. I am not going to sit here and accept the fact that Russia has just used chemical, and I'm not going to hold brief for them.
Yeah.
But all I'm asking for is that we cannot be a tunnel. We can't just not be a pipe that accepts anything that is poured through it, consume it as if for us we are created brain blocked that we cannot, should not, and should never think of questioning anything that is coming. I want to distance myself from that.
Okay. Now, once we come back, I have Mr. Kofi Ali who has called in. But once we come back, I want to find out. Do you think there is an essence for the UN at all? Do you think the UN should be, dissolved? Because I don't see anything that the UN is doing. If they really want to, or it's a body that has power that can stop people from misbehaving or bring about or call the peace, I think they should have done better. But do you think the UN should also be dissolved with what is going on, and maybe get another body? What do you think about that? But let's go to Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul-Yakin. Kofi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Doing very well, thank you very much. And you?
Yeah, I'm very fine. But I like the way Frank took the case of the Ukraine. I really, I said this guy has hit the note on the head. He did very well. You see, there is some delusion, and I think I thought it's an African syndrome of people thinking they are what they are not. Can you see? Believing your country it is everything because they call it a country, you have a president, so you can do it. So reality doesn't really work with people like that. For Ukraine to think, it's very funny. Ukraine to think she can fight Russia, it's a joke. Russia is not a small thing, no. It's very, very big. Very, very big. Though they don't have advantage in the number of population. 100 million plus. But Russia is big and they've got these deadly weapons. Russia, like Frank was saying, have no reason to use chemical weapons in Ukraine. The whole town has been leveled already. Anywhere you see these so-called Ukrainians. Hello?
Yes, we are listening to you. Go on.
Anywhere you see the Ukrainians saying they've regained the land or they've driven, it's a lie. The Russians have done enough damage there. And they feel, because they really didn't go there to destroy the place as it turned out to be. All they wanted is the leadership of Ukraine to be neutral and accept the conditions, and they all move on. Can you see?
Yeah.
Things got out of hand. It's just like big brother say, I want to punish the little brother a little bit so that it maybe can be reasonable. However, what has happened now, the thing has taken another turn. So what the Russians want to do, right? They withdraw from the main Kiev and all these places, encouraging the Europeans to do their worst. American be supplying weapons. You understand?
Yeah.
They know everything that goes there. Boris Johnson go there and go and have a photo shoot. Ursula von der Leyen go there and hug everyone and be pretending she's never seen a dead body before. What? You understand? The Russians want to do is to right now focus on the Donbass and Luhansk area.
Yeah.
Focus there, secure the place at any cost. Can you see?
Yeah.
So that it won't be like so many fronts onto the same land. When they finish, they will then march on towards Kiev. They will take on that land. They just want to make sure that where they are, they overwhelm the place, sanitize the place, and move on. Can you see?
Yeah.
Now, what is interesting here is that the Ukrainian leader or leadership,
Yeah.
now, you know, on one hand, the man will say that, oh, I want to negotiate. On the other hand, he say, no, the negotiation will be subject to, what you call it, the referendum. And the next thing is it's not negotiating again. Can you see? So it doesn't look like he's consistent. But one trick they are playing with the media propaganda is that they want to lure the Europeans and Americans into the war.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, there are two ways, because they've lost their own country, isn't it? So they don't care who dies.
So
they want
everybody's country should be destroyed.
When you are dying, die with everyone, and then there will be peace in heaven. All of us shall meet again. So what they are doing here is they are using all the propaganda, every means, to just get the Europeans coming. Now, there are two ways this wars will be fought. Either the Russians and the Europeans will agree that yes, they are all getting involved, you understand, but none will attack each other's land. All the bomb will be rained on the land of Ukraine. We are not talking about North and South Korea where human beings were shooting themselves. This we are talking about weapons being deployed.
Yeah.
By the time they will finish that land of Ukraine from the beginning to the end, for the next 50 years, no plant will grow there. Can you see?
Yeah.
Another side we need to not to fool ourselves with. There is this language that, oh, they've crossed the line. Oh, they've crossed the line. We should involve. Don't you hear it every day?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
How long is it taking for anyone to cross the line? How long? Listen to me. You see Russia? It's not like United States of America. It can take on the whole world. They have weapons enough to level the whole world. Can you see? So they don't have problem on who is coming in and who is not coming in. But it is the devastating effect of the outcome that everyone is saying, let us be a bit careful. Can you see?
Yeah.
Now, Russia is bent on doing anything she wants to do in Ukraine. And those who are saying that, now they cross the line. What is holding you behind? Those who have turned themselves into the Gestapo of democracy, the apostles of democracy, like you have the Taliban who claim they are apostles of Islam. So anywhere people are doing Islam, they all gang up and go and stand behind them and be bombing people. Is that what we are now doing in Ukraine? That America and the Britain has become now the Arab police officer. It's like those, because everybody used to say America is the police officer of the world. Are you the upholders and the custodian of international law, isn't it?
Yeah.
And before we know, everyone has become a capitalist all over the world. Is that not true? Their version of democracy that is less and insensitive to the plight of the ordinary man. That is what they have succeeded in imposing on every nation where they can enter. Now, what they are doing, the Europeans want that land because the Ukrainian land comes with certain advantages. On the other hand, can you see? Americans are sitting there and stoking. They are pushing the Europeans should go. Honestly, the Americans will not involve themselves. Anyone who go and add himself in that Ukraine team, you go down with the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians, if they are going to fight war, they should have look at their own capability. Like I tell Ghanaians, look at their capability. If you have a government that is collecting illness, that government is sick from poor people. But all of us are sitting down, there's some money somewhere, they should come and say, it's the same mindset they have in that Ukraine. You are going to fight with someone, you think America will come and involve itself. For how long are we waiting for them now to come? They've not gone. When are they going?
Yeah, when a chemical weapon is established that is being used.
Oh my brother, they should give us a union break. I heard they put chemical. What are they going to do then? I heard they put them. I don't people the Americans.
Interesting. But Kofi, let's move on.
Nobody's going anywhere.
Yeah,
they're only
move.
giving them moral support. There's no one who is going there. Maybe Britain, and you see, if I'm to put it, you know what I'll tell the British? It's very sad. You know what I'll tell them?
What will you tell them?
I'll tell them Russia has got the capability, right, of making an island vanish overnight. So
my friend, don't put that in their mind of Putin, please.
If they would think before they go and put their what kind of a put to that place? What is he looking for? What is he trying to prove? A land that has been riddled with everything. You are going there to do what? To go and look at what they've done. Oh yeah, I think look, Britain can defend herself. You understand?
Yeah.
She's a very powerful nation. Everyone agree. But the British have
the might against the might of Russia. It's not going to be
going to fight Russia.
Chicken.
Hey, this is not about somebody exposing someone in a village in London. This one is a different ball game.
Yeah.
Everybody must sit where they are. Those the gods want to kill, let the gods eat. The devil eat what you to eat, and let us have our peace of mind.
Okay. Just hold on. Listen, this is Starr Radio UK. It's your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I have got with me Mr. Frank Davis in the studio and Ms. Kofi Ali online at the moment. But if you want to join in, feel free to join in, because I know that Kojo has already joined in. We'll be going to Kojo for his assessment on that. But whilst we are doing that, Kofi, just ponder over the UN. Do you think that there's an essence for the UN? Because I don't see them doing anything about this case. I thought that they were the ones who can broker peace, and then we don't see anything. Is there any essence for the UN at all, or is it something that they use only against African states where there are things going on, and we think that they should go to Africa and maybe go to Rwanda, go to this, and for stop peace there? We'll be coming to that. But let's go to Kojo first. Kojo, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Archie and Frank and Kofi.
Yeah. How are you doing, sir?
I'm alright, thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay,
it's
so
sunny,
yeah.
When it's sunny, everybody is happy.
Yeah.
Russia or no Russia?
Russia or no Russia? Okay. Yes, Kojo. On what we are saying, we were discussing earlier on before we come to the UN. What is your take on it?
I think there is no conclusive evidence yet. As we all know, there's a lot of propaganda out there. So it could be one of these propagandas coming from Ukraine itself. That has not been verified.
Yeah.
So I don't think Western countries are getting themselves at the moment wind up or meddled into the war as of yet. So there is no verification, there is no proof. So that is why Western countries are saying they need to investigate. But Western countries are also well advised that they don't want to really join in this war. So even if they are drawn into the war, they will probably not be literally engaging themselves in a war. I mean, that has been ruled out. They don't want to engage into a conflict with Russia, and potentially, I didn't know Russia has more arms than all the rest.
Yeah, the whole world. Yeah, they have the most.
I don't think no. Individual countries.
Okay,
they are.
But when it comes to combination, they're not.
If you put the whole NATO forces together, they will outnumber the Russian. By far. And they will outnumber the Russian army in terms of armory and all that by far. But if you put the individual nations together, one by each other, then they will be. And in Europe, they probably have the greatest military force in Europe. But that is not to say that, I mean, if you put together Japan and all that, knowing very well that some European countries do not actively engage in growing their military force. So that is one thing we need to bear in mind. But at the same time, some of these European countries, so for France and the UK, they also have nuclear armory arsenal within their armory. So I'm not sure Russia too wants to engage in that kind of thing. But like rightly say, Ukraine is also playing propaganda warfare, and at the same time trying to pull along Western countries to its side. So anything that they can pull out of the bag, like magicians, they will. So, and I know the Western countries are also not just being lured into following blindly. So I think Alayomi also have a take.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let's now come to our final, because we've got about 10 minutes more to just run up. Now the UN, do you think it's essential now? Do we need it? Because it looks like they are only doing things when it comes to Africa. We can get this one, we can take them to court, we can do that. I don't see the UN being any.
The UN is okay. Let me bring it down to what is the purpose of the Ghana Legal Council? Look at them as a UN. When it comes to the lawyer, it's created to serve the interests of lawyers, but those who control it are the Chief Justice and a few others. The same vein, if you look at IMF, if you look at World Bank, if you look at International Financial Corporation, if you look at what do you call it, UN, United Nations Children Day,
UNICEF,
everything that you see over there was created to be able to be used as a tool to control the world. It has some advantage. It has helped in a lot of stuff, but the same vein, it has been used to serve the interest of the West, and the West are shareholders in UN. In fact, they created the UN, they created those world bodies so that it can serve their interest. That is why even when it comes to human rights, the definition of human rights must fit their position, must fit what they define as human rights for it to become human rights. Let's take classical. When I used to follow my granddad during holidays, I follow my granddad to his cocoa farm, and once he's moved one cocoa from one location to other, I'm helping him. And at them they would have considered as abuse. They were abusing me.
Child abuse,
because they didn't have cocoa farms over there. Are you getting me? So everything must fall within their standard, and that is exactly what we say. If you look at what happened in Libya, part of the standing agreement in establishing the UN is that it must not have a standing force. Okay, but they put clauses over there which can allow nations, shareholders over there, to be able to seek a resolution from the UN to go and destroy other nations. That's exactly what we saw in Libya. A peaceful country, they were having an internal problem, just as the way what do you call it, we have in Cameroon, that the way we have in Congo, that the way we have in we had in Donbass region, between the Donbass region and other thing. But the UN didn't seek a resolution to go and take out Crimea. The Donbass region were being persecuted. We didn't see a UN resolution to go and take Kiev out. Zelensky was not going to be bumped out. But that's the same thing they did to Gaddafi. So it's UN relevant. For me, it is yes and no. It depends on the angle you're coming from. It has helped maintain a little bit of order. It has helped, especially when it comes to African countries, to be able to hold some of their leaders responsible and set a bit of standards that we as human beings aspire. But again, it has been used as a tool to manipulate a lot of people. And for me, should it stay on or not? I think it should stay, and it should be reviewed. There should be no way that UN should back a NATO resolution to go and destroy any other country. That for me was barbaric, and I will never forgive those who have voted for that, for the destruction they caused to Libya.
Okay. Let's go to Mr. Kofi Ali. Kofi.
Hello.
Is the UN essential, or do we have to just dissolve it now?
This is the UN. When you look at the order of the world, at the time the UN was constructed, or the idea came up, there is a reason. The UN was not formed to use military means or even any other means to address global issues. The UN was formed to encourage diplomacy, talk, have an agreement, and then, everyone move on. Can you see? Now, the UN, this is why the custodianship of the UN was not actually given to America or China or Russia or the United Kingdom. What they did was to create a neutral body, which is the UN, to play the diplomatic role. Can you see? However, the understanding for which nations were encouraged, certain number of nations were encouraged to be in the UN Security Council with veto power, while others will not have said veto power is that. Experience will have taught all of us that 99% of the violence and the attack and the counter and then occupation and so on are among the powerful so-called members of the Security Council. Most of the time, and sometimes among the independent nations, there could be some fracas. You understand? They are very easy to settle them because they normally don't have any serious weapon and capabilities. But when you come to the sovereign ones who are looking for allies and who are expanding their influence, their orbit of influence, it can be very challenging, and sometimes they can be very, very, damaging, and their weapons can be destructive. So that is the experience we're having now. It is sad that when diplomacy, in the course of diplomacy, of course, sometimes you bring in some element of democracy. In other words, the assembly meets and they vote. Can you see? They are talking about 193 countries.
Hello? Okay, I think this line is dropped.
The Ukrainians have taken him out.
Maybe. Okay, let's go to Kojo.
Yeah. Right. I think again it's yes and no. But I don't think the UN was set up mainly defined in the image of the Western countries. So Kofi is joined, but let me put it this way. Russia and China are part of all the structures that were set for the UN. So every input that was set up either within the Human Rights Council and all that, they were part of that structure and all the write-up. So it would not be 100% fair to say that Western countries influence the outcome of the way the UN was set. That is why China and Russia has vetoing powers, because they were part of the charter that set it up. So, like rightly defined, the UN is a diplomatic institution. It doesn't interfere. That is why when one nation vetoes the other, and in the past, you could always refer to Libya and maybe Iraq, but Russia too has also taking advantages again from UN support or UN not supporting it. They were the first people to have gone into Afghanistan before Western countries went there. So you can understand that these big permanent members, so we must define it. So within the Security Council, there are the 5 permanent members, and from time to time they elect other permanent members, which currently Ghana is serving as a non-permanent member. So the 5 permanent members always disagree among themselves, but again, and most of the time, diplomacy is what they seek for. But unfortunately, diplomacy also has a limit where people want to agree and disagree. So I think that is what we are seeing now. That is why the other Western countries are very edgy to deal with another permanent Security Council member who well, wants to secure its own security and nationhood. So it's a difficult situation. And I'm sure if America were in that similar situation like Russia, they also go all in to secure make their country secure, as we can see from from Taliban. They went all the way out to make sure their nation is secure from ISIS or Taliban. So you can translate the same into Russia. Currently, Russia is saying a similar thing, that they need to be secure. Their borders need to be secure. Their interests need to be secure across the globe. And the interests of their allies also need to be secure. So it's a dicey situation.
Okay. I've got Felix on the line. Let's go to Felix. Kofi, I'll come to you so that you can draw conclusion on what you were saying. Yeah. Okay. But let's go to Felix. Felix, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. Thank you. You?
I think I'm plodding on.
Okay.
Hello, Felix. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
It's a long time. Wonderful. How are you doing? I'm okay. Good. Kofi, how are you doing too? Not bad, sir. All right. Let me start with the whatever levy or whatever tax they say they are claiming from Ghanaians. I think that's about 6.9 billion.
Yeah.
The national budget for this year is well over 140 billion.
Oh, okay.
That
so it's
makes
about less than 10%.
That makes it less than 5%.
Okay, call it.
Right.
Yeah.
That is even if they get the 6.9 billion. That makes it less than 5% of their budget. So I don't know how that is going to save the country, but our people have decided not to think. So, well, anybody can talk any trash to them and they will accept it. And that's where they are. That's the first point. Second point is the judiciary.
Yeah.
Look, this Supreme Court, if Ghana is a serious country, it will go down as one of the worst Supreme Court benches we've ever had. Some of the landmark decisions that they've taken, it will be, 50 years from now, if you and I were to be alive, your grandchildren, our grandchildren will question how a Supreme Court can literally invalidate a document such as your birth certificate. Yes, our grandchildren will look at it as, are you guys stupid? Why on earth would you make a decision like that? It doesn't make sense to anybody, but it makes sense to the Supreme Court. All other documents produced out of the birth certificate are valid, but the document that actually makes these secondary documents come into place, that primary document itself is invalid. It doesn't make sense to them. They don't want it. You come to Europe, and if you have a farm and you are growing cattle or pigs, even on that farm, you are supposed to record the birth of these animals. It's a requirement, because immediately they come into life, they either become part of the food chain or you either use them for research.
Yeah.
So if it's a cow, you use it as part of milk or beef. If you don't use it for that and you are using it for something else, then somebody has to know what you are using it for. That's the reason why if you have a cattle farm, you have to record every birth. And you have to record death as well. That's why slaughterhouses have all sorts of paperwork, because you want to know when this cow was born and when it ceased to live, and where its carcass has gone to.
Yeah.
But in our country, the birth certificate of a human being doesn't matter, except that all the documents that are produced out of the birth certificate are relevant. Apart from the birth certificate, is the one that says that you have come onto this earth. But that's the decision of the Supreme Court. The least said about that Supreme Court, the better. These are not my words. That's the words of the Chief Justice himself. He described the Professor White as the least said about them, the better. So the least said about this Supreme Court judge, the better. But you shouldn't be surprised. This is a country where justices of the Superior Court stand by the side of the road waiting for a goat, so that they can change the decision of the court in favor of somebody. That's how low these people have sunk. Regarding the issues about Ukraine and chemical weapons, do you remember Aleppo?
Yep.
Yeah.
Syria.
And remember
Syria,
there are some chemical weapons that have been dropped in Aleppo.
Yes.
Obama said who were caught on camera trying to rescue these people who are suffering from chemical weapon attack. Some cases they didn't even have gloves, they didn't have face masks, they didn't have anything. They had water holes and washing the faces of individuals. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, chemical weapons don't work like that. Go and talk to some of these soldiers. They will tell you that when these things are used, it flattens out life. Life ceases to exist. Right? You go and look at some of the pictures. And when these things are used, even sometimes it's very difficult even for animals to survive. And remember, animals sometimes live longer than human beings. When these things are used. So they can make all the claims they want to make. If Europe wants to set itself into a third world war, well, they are liberty to go into a third world war. The only thing is that this time round, recovery is not going to be easy because they're not going to get free and cheap labor from other parts of the world.
Nobody's coming.
It's as simple as that. They're not going to get free and cheap resources. Certainly, most African countries, however stupid we are, we're not going to cut our timber, our gold, and come and help them rebuild because we have enough problems
of
at
our
home.
own.
So if they want to go into a third world war, fine. Over, shall we say, the poorest country in Europe now, but that's fine. If they want to, nobody can stop them. They have a lot of military arsenal, and if they want to use them, if they want to clear their warehouses or some of these military arsenals, fine. There's nothing we can do about it. I mean, most of us are guests on the European continent, and if they decide to, take a different direction that may not be appealing to some of us, we may have to pack our things and head off to wherever we came, or whence we came, if you want to speak in biblical terms. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Felix. It's actually just summed it all nicely. But let's go to Kofi, because Kofi was speaking and then his line dropped. So, quick one from Kofi. Kofi.
Yes. There was something that just crossed my mind and slightly it flashed away. However, I just want to make something very, very clear. The concept, we're talking about the United Nations. I think you move the focus to the United Nations. And the United Nations as it is, that is exactly what is set to do. To allow people to have a more cordial way of working rather than basing relationship on might is right. So the golden rule, like I said, of the new order is what? Diplomacy. However, there are this business of allies and alignment and who is on my side and that from the word go, that's what led to the North and South Korean division today. People hide behind United Nations, and there are people who feel they have more weight and influence in so what they want is what everyone is finding themselves doing. Now when we come to, because if you look at the colonization and occupation, it's all about raw material, whether you like it or not. It's all about supply of what? Cheap labor and raw material. That is why colonization took place. So empires were created. But the difference between what we have now and what we had at that time is that of willing buyer and willing seller. Can you see? But there's still the master and the ruler, whether we like it or not. But there's another side. There is this issue that we touch on, and that to me is a bit challenging when we're looking at it, the issue of human rights. Human right, what does it mean, and whose responsibility is to ensure the right of the individual is upheld? Until we know the meaning of human right, for my own understanding, if you have not eaten, tell me what is your right? You have not eaten, you are sitting down, you are hungry. If you have no clothes on your body, tell me what is justice? You have no house to live, you sleep by the roadside, like you. Tell me what is dignity in life? What about healthcare? You are sick, or you go to hospital and your baby is stolen. There's one video going around in Ghana, a baby is stolen from the hospital because I get the whole story is upside down. Education, if you are not educated, how can you even go out there? Can you see, to fight or work and get your share as part of create of wealth and consumer? This is what I think human rights should be about. Then some people are saying, no, it's their religion and their belief and the way they want to dress and what they want to do. You understand? Or feel free to. Of course, there's nothing wrong in talking about the authority of your state. But there is something wrong as well. When you are going to talk to the devil, you should, if you are going to talk to your father, don't you know the father you have before you open your mouth?
Of course.
If you have a violent father, do you just go about opening your mouth anyhow? He will beat you and kill you. If your father is a tolerant one, allow you, encourage you, you talk to. Is that not true?
Mm-hmm.
And then who should be the police of this? I want to do what I want to do. I have a right. It's my right. I do what I like. Is it the United Nations where America is hiding? Where we know that in America themselves they have some dangerous chemical factories and laboratories there that are not fit for human beings, and Americans themselves are scared of them. Are they the ones that are coming to tell us they are giving us our human rights and we believe them? So let us step back. Russians have their version of human rights. Those who are controlled, unfortunately for now, by Islamic terrorists, they took have their own values, isn't it?
Yeah.
And therefore their human rights version will be different. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Some are even saying God told them for women not to drive car. Is that not true? That is their version of justice, and therefore they are right.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you come to UK, you can even sit down every week. They give you money, they give you house, they give you medical care, they give you everything because they have the capability to give you. It's not United Nations that is giving it to them to give you. They gave it to you because they have it. Can you see?
Yeah.
And when somebody in Russia too, they do in the Russia, they've got the way they do it, and they feel if they feel another country is a threat to them. Of course, why do they have weapons? They need to go and defend their interests. Do you want them to sit down knowing fully well that in a nation where the Europeans and the Americans have gang up together and hijack everything? You want Russians and the Chinese to go there? Well, in China, they've already got their own concentration camp where they keep the Uyghur Muslims and because they want to change their mindset. And they believe it's their right as a sovereign nation to self-determine their destiny, not to be decided by Americans or Europeans for them. So sometimes this human rights issue, like you can sit in America and be remote controlling human rights in Russia, that is nonsense. That is total nonsense.
Okay.
You can only do that in Ghana because those ones are psychiatric republic and Nigeria. You understand? Yeah, you can do that there. That one is they call it. Do you know we were called the Dark Continent?
Yes, I know. Kofi, we have to go. We have to go. BB Clement is coming on at 1:10.
I don't know who has switched the light, but I know there's no light. I just came. I just ran away. Ordinary mosquitoes will drive you away. So let us be serious. And understanding that yes, we may have the willpower to do certain great things we want, but do we have the capability? Sometimes you can have the capability. The man has got the leg, but he's lazy. He's not working. The child is not working because he has got the leg. But you can have a child who is disabled, and he wants to work, but he cannot work. Can you see? You need capability to do great things. Then you'll be encouraged to do it. There is a difference between encouragement, you understand, to do great things and the capability to do great things. I want my son to be a medical doctor, but he's the doctor's boy in school. How much, no matter what you pay, it's like you're throwing your money away. Can you see? But if the child has got the capability, great brain, the parents have also got the means to send him to the best school. The teachers should be talking and they'll be sinking in and it should be useful. Can you see?
Yes.
Let us stop blaming. This is why when you come to blaming people who are collecting e-levy, I see them. We have to
go now. We have to go now, please.
we too have a fault too. Okay. As we look at the gods and blame them, they say the gods are not to be blamed. We are part of the gods. The Bible says ye are gods.
Okay.
Until I know in the Bible.
Amen.
So please let us wake up and be human. Europeans are not developing because the people are behind it and they question
and Kofi ended by saying they are developing because of ECOWAS. Kofi, thank you very much and have a nice.
Let us have our mind open. Tradition, like yesterday was saying, tradition are great, but sometimes tradition must change. And if we are voting in Ghana every day with our life, why don't we think a little bit out of the box? Let us try.
Kofi, have a very, very good afternoon, Kofi.
Thank you very much. Talk about that tomorrow.
Yes, thank you very much.
It's after one.
Yes, thank you, Felix. Thank you, Kojo, as well. Listeners, we're bringing the program to a close there. But Frank, before we go, actually, I think because of our time, we just wrap it up. But what I will end up with when it comes to media, especially what I'm witnessing or what we are witnessing in this Ukraine war, I think we should not be swallowing things like just pipes that are receiving water being poured on. A lot is going on. The agenda to cause either to create a world war or to create a situation where Russia will be attacked by a lot of forces, and whether this war is also being staged to deplete the arsenals of and the military strength of Russia before they attack Russia. It's all there to play for. But if I'm looking for my ticket back to my village,
I think now I need to go build some bunker in Ghana, you know. Who knows? Well, listeners, we want to say thank you very much for tuning in to listen to us, and I hope that you enjoy the program. But remember, this afternoon, in the next 16 minutes, we'll be having BB Clement coming your way with BB Means Business. Today, she's looking at keys to successful selling. You want to be selling? Well. It is time for you to sell. Listen to that program to help you a great deal. And also this evening exactly at 8 o'clock, she will be coming your way. Who says who? Simone Frazier will be coming your way with the CEO once again. So on that note, we say have a lovely afternoon and or have a lovely day. And there's going to be lots of music this afternoon as well after the BB Clement show. And enjoy yourself. But you know what? Be safe wherever you are. And remember, tomorrow we'll be coming back on the show once again. It's me, Archie, Mr. Frank Davis, and all the wonderful team behind the scenes who are working and pushing and pulling and making sure everything ticks along nicely. We say have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye bye for now. Enjoy this song from the Dimapur Nagaland. It says, "Don't worry, be happy."
life we had some trouble.